Hindi natin again i-emphasize lahat, no? Kapag self-explanatory na yung item, we will just skip that part, okay? Number 1, self-explanatory, this is letter C. You get that? Okay. They can write interpretations and case reports with, everybody please read the word with, sino ang mag-supervise? Yung psychologist. Kasi ngayon lisensya nyo ay psychometrician. Totoo naman yun na mas mataas ang psychologist kaysa psychometrician. That's why we need to be supervised. Okay? Next, number 2, the correct answer is letter. This is another problem. This is one problematic item I was talking about. Yung binigay sa akin, ang answer key lumabas ay letter B. No? But I would stick with letter A. Testing is the act of administering test, while measurement is the act of scoring. You are getting the number. And what do you call that number? Anong tawag sa number na yon? The raw score. Every test na hawakan nyo, you can convert it into a raw score. Ano gagawin niya sa raw score? Kapag nakuha niya na, what's next? What's the next step? You are going to convert that into what score? Aside from the raw score, you have that standard score. Ano ibig sabihin ng standard score? Ito yung score na makukuha mo kapag kinumpara mo na yung raw score sa tinatawag natin norm. Okay? Very good. Sigurado ako dito sa number 2 letter A kasi kinonsult ko ito kahapon sa kay Doc Karin Taroha. You know, Dr. Taroha, hindi ko kilala anyway. One of the big names in assessment. So kinonfirm niya it's letter A. Next, number 3, the correct answer is letter B, balloon. Reason for assessment. I want to emphasize on item number 3. Everybody please focus. Ready? I want you to be familiar with the term referral question. Isulat niyo sa inyong mga notebooks. Anong ibig sabihin ng referral question? Are you familiar with this? Or first time? Ibig sabihin ng referral question sa Tagalog, ito yung dahilan ng assessment. Everybody say the word dahilan. Go. Ano ang English ng dahilan? Reason. Alam nyo, sa assessment, hindi pwede ang kliyente pupunta sa iyo for no reason at all. The person has to need to have what? A referral question. Okay, let me use another analogy. Parang ganito lang yan eh. You're familiar with CT scan or MRI, right? These are medical toys that are designed to help us understand what's happening inside your skull. Tama? Alam niyo ba, trivia, kapag pumunta ka sa mga diagnostic centers, punta ka sa front desk, Miss, magpapa-CT scan ako. Miss, magpapa-MRI ako. Tingin niyo papayagan kayo, yung wala lang, yes or no? No. Hindi pwede magpapa-MRI ka, wala lang. Para yung film ilalagay ko sa pader ng cabinet ko. No. Hihingan ka ng diagnostic center na referral. Coming from who? The doctor. Kumbaga, parang reseta, nakasulat, nakapirma yung doktor doon that this person really needs a CT scan and an MRI. The same thing with assessment. Hindi pwede pupunta lang yung kliyente sa'yo o bibigyan mo lang siya ng mga test. Wala lang. Gusto ko lang. Wala akong magawa sa buhay ko. No. There must be always everybody please read, a referral question. It starts there. The process of assessment starts with the referral question. Like what? What are some examples of referral questions na pwede natin makuha as RTMs in the future? Can this child function in a regular classroom? Is the defendant fit to stand trial? Ginagawa yan sa forensics, no? Is this employee fit to function in the position he is applying for? So these are some examples of referral questions. So ang tanong, sino ang magre-refer? Siyempre, hindi ikaw kasi nag-aantay ka lang eh. RTM nag-aantay ka lang ng kliyente. But who would refer? Different people like who? Halimbawa dito, sino to? It could be a teacher, it could be a guidance counselor, or it could be a school. Dito, sino ang magre-refer dyan? It could be a trial court. It could be a judge. No? How about this one? Sino nagre-refer sa'yo dyan? It could be the owner of the company. It could be the CEO. It could be the HR head of the company, etc., etc. Maliwanag? So, walang mangyayaring assessment kung walang referral question. Tandaan niyo yan, ha? Next, number 4, the correct answer is In crisis situations, the best method daw ay ano? Letter A, interviewing. Interviewing. Bakit? Okay, let's talk about this. Sa tingin ko, para makuha niyo yung tamang sagot sa number 4, you need to understand anong ibig sabihin ng crisis. Sino dito naka-experience ng crisis? Taas ang kamay. Wow, napaka-comfortable naman ang life niyo. Anong ibig sabihin ng crisis? Some examples of crisis situations are the following: rape, physical abuse, natural calamities, fire. Ngayon, actually, ito hindi ito medyo may pagka-clinical na rin ito, no? But we are close to the field of clinical side naman. Kapag nakakita ka ng isang taong naka-experience niyan, any one of those, what should you do? You need to, what? What should you do with the person? You need to give the person a crisis interview. Isulat niyo yan sa mga notebooks niyo. Sa clinical side na galing nito eh. Anong ibig sabihin ng crisis interview? Maraming klaseng interview, no? But this one is a special kind of interview wherein we deal with people who are currently distressed. So kapag masaya ang tao, wala siyang problema, huwag mo siyang bigyan ng crisis interview. Anong gagawin mo? Magpalibre ka kasi masaya siya. Pero kapag distressed siya, you give that person a crisis interview. Now, what is the main goal of a crisis interview? The main goal is to process the negative emotion being felt by someone na naka-experience ng crisis. Everybody say the word process. Go. Anong ibig sabihin ng process? Wait, i-process natin yung emotions mo in clinical side. I'm sure na clinical side kayo ng undergrad. When you say you are processing the emotion, what does that mean? It means what? Kasi di ba emotion yun, yung nangingibabaw sa kanya negative emotion. When you process the negative emotion, exactly what are you doing? You are making that negative emotion cognitive. Kasi feelings yun eh. Gagawin mo siyang cognitive. Ano ibig sabihin ng cognitive? Iisipin. Iba kasi yung nararamdaman sa naiisip. So kapag prinoseso mo yung negative emotions by cognitizing it, ano nangyayari kasi in clinical side? When you begin to talk about the emotion, when you think about the emotion, the intensity of the negative emotion weakens, humihina. Kasi pinoprocess mo, pinag-uusapan nyo, cognitize nyo. And what's the best way to cognitize the negative emotion? By talking about it. That's when you do a crisis interview. Halimbawa, na-rape, o di-distress yan, distress. So, anong nararamdaman mo ngayon? Anong mga naiisip mo, di ba? Although distress siya, kapag tinatanong mo yan, nag-iisip siya eh. Ito nararamdaman ko. Ito yung mga naiisip ko. So, yung negative emotion niya, yung kanyang impact, yung kanyang intensity, in a way, bumababa. Kasi iniisip mo, pinoproseso mo. Am I making sense? Kaya nga, alam niyo, kung saan dapat ginagawa itong crisis interview na ito, usually sa mga presinto dapat meron yan. I don't know exactly kung meron bang mga trained personnel ang mga presinto to conduct a crisis interview, but they should have. And you understand why, right? Bakit? Ang presinto ay isang lugar na kung saan karamihan ng mga taong distress doon tumatakbo. Like who? Mga nabiktima ng snatching, nabiktima ng hold up. Yung mga ginulpi ng asawa. Kaya nga sa presinto may tinatawag tayong Women's and Children's Desk. Tama? Meron doon na rape, pumunta sa presinto, nagsumbong. Meron bang kakausap sa kanya to conduct a crisis interview? Most of the time, wala. Ano nang gagawin? Kukunan na salaysay. Ano po nangyari? Sa type niya. Yun yung report. Yun yung gagamitin, ibibigay sa piskal kung magsasampa siya ng kaso. Diba? Pero yung psychological side, who would process the emotion here? To the girl, to the woman who was raped. I don't think ang presinto natin may mga trained personnel to do a crisis interview. Kaya kapag may mga lisensya na kayo, pwede na naman itong pagkaperahan eh. Na mag-apply kayo sa isang presinto, pwede kayo mag-part-time doon, ikaw magpoproseso ng ikaw mag-ibigay ng crisis interview. Another example, aside from the precincts, would be the hotlines. Di ba usong-uso yan sa Pilipinas dahil marami ang depressed, marami ang suicidal. You can call certain numbers for you to be helped by professionals para hindi ka mag-suicide. Are you familiar with those numbers? This is one example. Totoo yan. Tawag ka dyan, merong trained personnel dyan ang kakausap sa'yo to process the distress that you are experiencing to help you improve yourself. Maliwanag, yun yung tinatawag na crisis interview. But then, warning, if you are not trained, hindi ka clinical psych, hindi ka RPM, actually, more on clinical psych, huwag kang mag-undergo o huwag kang mag-conduct ng crisis interview without training. Because sometimes you can make the problem worse. Alam niyo ba, in clean psych, kasi tinuro ko ito ng one term sa Lasal, natutunan ko, na kapag kumakausap ka pala ng taong depressed or suicidal, there are right things and wrong things na dapat mong tandaan. Meron ka mga bagay na pag nasabi mo, lalong lalala yung sitwasyon. No? Halimbawa, umiyak siya, gusto ko na magpakamatay, hindi ko na kaya. Eh wala, nagmamagaling ka. Alam mo, fake lang yan. Let's pray. Hindi ko binibinitan yung power of prayer, but there is a right approach. Kung papaano mo dapat ipapacify yung ganong kalakas na intensity na emotion. Hindi yung banat ka ng banat. Nagko-quote ka ng mga Bible verse doon. Kino-quote mo yung mga inspirational. Alam mo, parang time is gold. Kahit wala ka na. Diba? Sometimes the client will just feel worse. Sana hindi ka na lang niya kinausap. Baka hindi pa siya talaga nagpakamatay nung hindi ka niya nakausap. Anyway, some examples of questions that we do in crisis interview are the following. Yan. Meron kasi mga crisis interview na standardized. Okay? So yung mga tanong na itatanong mo doon sa taong distress, naka-fix na, such as the following. Huwag niyo na kopyahin yan, just read on your own. As in, point by point yan, itatanong mo, tapos iti-take note mo yung mga sagot niya. Yan. How do you know those who were hurt or killed? So may namatay sa sitwasyon na ito. Has anything like this happened to you or any of your family before? How do you think this will affect you in the days to come? Diba parang pinipilit mo na isipin niya yung negative emotion. Bakit? When you do that, the impact of the negative emotion weakens when you begin to process it through cognition. Okay? Basic principle yan sa clean psych. Next. Number 4. Number 5, the correct answer is letter C, cactus. Alam niyo na dapat yan. Number 6, the correct answer is letter, what's your answer? Can I hear? When interviewing preschool kids for school, it is best to conduct letter A, structured interview. Bakit? Okay. Let's talk about interview. Ilang klaseng meron ng interview in terms of approach? Tatlo. We have structured, we have semi-structured, and we have unstructured. Anong pinagkaiba ng tatlo? Kapag sinabi mong structured, ano ibig sabihin yan? You already have fixed questions. You give the questions. Everybody please read these two words. These two words. Go. As is. Kung ano ang nakalagay doon sa structured interview, kung ano yung mga tanong na naroon, siguradong itatanong mo yan. Kaya nga, ang tawag sa hawak mo, if you are going to conduct a structured interview is an interview schedule. As in, kung ano yung nasa schedule, kung ano yung mga tanong na naroon, itatanong mo yun, kahit anong mangyari. Kasi nga, structured yung interview. Okay? Let me give you an example of a structured interview na ginagamit kung gusto mong malaman kung ang kausap mo ay merong DID. Stands for? Yes. Kasi merong maraming mga structured interview na when you use, it can be used to diagnose a certain disorder. In this case, DID. Dissociative Identity Disorder. Look at this, ha? Ito yung eksaktong copy ng interview schedule. Anong tawag dito? Interview schedule because this is a structured interview. Ito yung informed consent. Okay? Yan. So, pipirma dyan yung kliyente mo na pumapayag siya na interviewin mo siya. And then, look at this. Kukunin mo yung demographics niya. Pero punta tayo sa mga tinatanong, ha? Now, look at this. Yung mga nasa likod, babasahin ko na lang for you, ha? Okay, tingnan nyo to. The interviewer should read the following to the subject. So, can you imagine, meron kang kaharap, babasahin mo to. I am going to ask you about a series of physical symptoms now. To count the symptom as present and to answer yes to these questions, one or more of the following must be met, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so ito na yung mga itatanong mo. Halimbawa, may kausap ako. Have you ever had the following physical symptoms? Abdominal pain. Sasagot yung kliyente. Pag sagot niya, ano gagawin? Ano gagawin? Na-numberan ko dito. 1 yes, 2 no, 3 unsure. Okay? Next, nausea, vomiting, so on and so forth, diarrhea. Okay? Yan yung physical side. Pero punta tayo sa mga more psychological questions. Yan. Ito. Halimbawa, during this period, did you experience the following symptoms nearly every day for at least 2 weeks? Poor appetite or significant weight loss. Ano sagot na naman niya? Lagay ko yung number dyan. Being physically and mentally slowed down or agitated. Ano na naman yung sagot niya? Isusulat ko na naman yan doon. Okay? O ngayon, how does this work? Towards the end of this interview schedule, di ba puro numbers yan? Again, what's number 1? Yes. What's number 2? No. What's number 3? Unsure. Bakit kino-convert natin sa numbers yan? Yun yung magiging raw score. At itong interview schedule na ito, there is a cut-off. If you get this raw score, it is a strong indication that maybe you have DID. Ganon. So may mga interviews talaga na quantitative ang approach. So huwag niyo isipin na pag-interview ay laging qualitative yan. There are interview schedules that are quantitative, especially the structured ones. Maliwanag. Okay. Yung semi-structured, ano yung semi-structured interview? Semi-structured interview naman, ang hawak ko dyan, interview guide. Hindi siya schedule, guide na. So anong pinagkaiba? Pag semi-structured interview, you have a list of questions, but what's the difference? You can choose whether or not to give the succeeding questions to the client. Pwedeng merong mag-skipan na question. Tanong, bakit mo i-skipan ng isang question? For what reason? Siguro kasi, tinanong mo yung question 1. Ang daldal niya, ang haba ng sagot. Nasagot na rin niya yung question 2 and 3. So there's no need to ask questions 2 and 3. You can now proceed to question 4. Can you follow? Because it is just a semi-structured interview. It's not as strict as structured interview. Okay? At syempre, meron din tayo tinatawag na unstructured interview. Ito yung parang typical na pakikipag-usap lamang. It's free-flowing. It is just like a normal conversation, unstructured. Now, in testing, ano ang madalas na ginagamit? Definitely structured, followed by semi-structured. Ang unstructured, hindi masyado. Ginagamit yan sa field of assessment. Because again, we need scores. We need numbers in assessment to back up our reports, right? So, madalas na ginagamit talaga ay yung structured interview. Next, number 7. The correct answer is letter C. Parehong time and event sampling. Kayo na bahala magbasa kung ano ang time and event sampling, ha? Ayaw namin nag-spoon feed kami dito. Next, number 8. Ability test, assess, letter B. Balloon. Number 9, letter D. Dog. Next, number 10. Are you still following? Letter A, apple. Did you get that? Bilis lang yan, ha? Next, number 11, the correct answer is letter D, dog. All of the above. In psychological testing, hypotheses about a client's functioning are primarily derived from saan mo raw nakukuha sagot letter D sa lahat. Okay, everybody fix your eyes on the screen. Another principle you need to remember, in assessment, tayo ay sumusunod sa prinsipyo ng multiple sources. Sulat niyo, multiple sources. Everybody say the words, multiple sources. Go. Anong ibig sabihin ng principle of multiple sources? Kapag may lisensya ka na in the future as RPM, when you say something about the person, when you are now writing your assessment report, saan dapat nanggagaling yung pinagsasabi mo sa assessment report? From multiple sources. Marami ka dapat pinanggagalingan. Okay, parang ganito lang yan. Are you familiar with this? Don't judge the book. Question. Are these words saying you should not judge, yes or no? Sinasabi ba dyan, don't judge? Pwede hindi. Pwede mag-judge, hindi. Pwede. In assessment, do we judge? Yes or no? Yes, we judge. We give people labels. Like what? What labels? Average, below average, highly stressed, highly anxious, schizophrenic. These are labels. We judge people. Hindi bawal mag-judge, pero take a look at this. Ano ang bawal? Yung judgment mo, isa lang ang basihan. Dito, anong basihan lang? Yung cover. Ikaw, conclude mo na kagad yung libro, pangit, kasi nakita mo yung cover, pangit. No. You should judge the book not only by its cover, but also by its, more importantly, content. Basahin mo muna word for word bago mo i-judge yung book. The same thing in assessment. In assessment, our assessment must not be based on a single data. Nakita mo lang yung raw score niya, 29/100, tapos kinumpara mo sa norm, below average, this person is not smart. Boo! Remedial class. No, that's not the right way to assess a person. In assessing a person, we must have in our hand many data. Such as what? Saan manggagaling yung assessment mo? Dapat meron kang hawak na set of scores. Take note, scores. Hindi ko sinabing score. Bakit? In a real assessment, ilang test ang ibibigay mo? Ilang test? Actually, wala namang prescribed number of tests, but definitely not only one. Kaya nga sa assessment, kapag nagbibigay ka ng test, what do you call a group of tests? Battery of tests. You give a person a battery of tests. From that, you get many numbers. Test lang ba yung pwede natin pagkunan? Yes or no? No. Pwede ka rin observation. Pwede ka rin mag-interview. Pwede ka rin mag-case history. The more data, the better. That's the principle in assessment. The more data that you have, the more comprehensive your assessment report is, the more accurate your assessment will become. Am I making sense? Hindi pwede yung isang number lang o isang observation lang, may assessment report ka na. That's very unfair to the person. Kayo kaya, i-judge kayo kasi dahil lang saan? Sa hairstyle mo. Oh, ay, kalbo, masamang tao to. Oh, di ba, masakit? Hindi man lang niya tinignan yung religion mo. Hindi man lang niya tinignan yung lisensya mo. Di ba? Kalbo ka lang, masamang tao ka na. It's also not fair. The same thing with assessment. Okay? Naintindihan to, ha? Next, number 11. The following are behavioral observations method except letter. Ang lumabas sa answer E, letter D. Dog. Pero markahan nyo na lang. But upon second thought, I think it should be letter A. Assessment center. Bakit? Hindi naman kasi method ang assessment center. Tama? Ang assessment center ay isang lugar. Diba? Assessment center, ito yung mga psychological clinics that you go to if you want to take tests. Diba na? So I would stick with letter A here. Although ang lumabas sa answer D is, ano sabi ko? Letter D. But I think assessment center is not a method, it is a place. Kasi ang to accept it, diba? So it's letter A. I would stick with letter A, ha? Next, number 13 is letter A, apple. Number 14, which of the following is an example of indirect observation? What's your answer? Nasaan dyan ang indirect? The correct answer is letter A, apple. Let's talk about the difference between direct and indirect observation. First, ano ang similarity ng dalawa? These two are used to gather data about the client. Are you with me? So aside from raw score, aside from giving standardized psychological tests, you can also observe the client. So both are methods that you can use to gather data about the client. But what's the difference? Ano pinagkaiba ng direct observation sa indirect observation? Sa direct, you are getting data from the client with his or her presence. Ibig sabihin, habang nangongolekta ka ng data about the client, nandoon siya. Nandoon yung presence niya. You are interviewing him or her. You are testing him or her. Di ba yan? Direct observation yun. Kasi nandun yung kliyente. On the other hand, yung indirect, ito yung pagkakataon wherein wala yung kliyente. Pero, nag-gather ka pa rin ng data. Like how? Paano ka mag-gather ng data na wala naman ng presence ng client? For example, you research about the client's record sa school. Hindi naman kinakailangan doon yung kliyente para gawin mo yan eh. Di ba? Interviewin mo yung kanyang mga kaibigan about the person. Pwede yan, ginagawa yan in plain sight. Have you heard of community interview? Ano ibig sabihin ng community interview? Pupunta ka saan? Sa lugar kung saan nakatira yung kliyente. Sino ang mga interviewin mo dyan? Yung mga taong nakakakilala sa kanya. Such as who? Yung kapitbahay, yung barangay chairman, yung mga tanod, yung taong pinagbibilan niya sa sari-sari store. Pwede mong gawin yan. It's also a method of data gathering about the person. But then again, wala naman kinakailangan presence yung client doon. Kaya siya, indirect observation. Maliwanag? There's another way pala of indirect observation. You know what's that? Na talagang ginagawa in today's world, in today's time? Checking a person's social media account. Ginagawa na yung method of data gathering. Kasi, do you agree? Pwede mo nang makilala ang isang tao, although not fully, but you can have an idea about the person's background simply by looking at his or her social media accounts, right? Kaya nga, ito, inherelate ko to sa I.O. ha, kayo. Sino nagtatrabaho na dito? Wala. Sino magtatrabaho after this? Ba, kayo, mag-a-apply kayo, di ba? Before you apply, please make sure you fix your social media account. You know why? Modern HR people, they no longer rely only on your resume. Nagba-background check ang mga yan. Eh, may resume, andyan yung full name mo. I-type mo lang sa Google yung full name. Lalabas yung Facebook mo. Lalabas yung IG mo. Your Facebook and your IG, remember, are what? Extension of your resume. Is this a person of a good character? It can be reflected on your social media account. Eh, yung profile pic mo, naka-dirty finger ka doon na may hawak kang red horse. Yung Instagram mo, nandun yung paglalandian ng boyfriend nyo, may lips to lips doon. Tapos yung mga tagline, my forever. Labas padila. Ang dami ganyan sa Instagram. Mga papansin, ha? Remember, your social media account is what? The extension of your resume. So bago kayo mag-apply, fix your social media account. Yung profile pic nyo dapat, naka-necktie kayo and long sleeves. Pati yung Instagram, ha? Yung mga bastos, i-private nyo. Kung meron kayong mga ganun, i-private nyo, i-lock nyo. Ay, hindi makikita ng maraming tao. Okay? Daming ganyan ngayon. Ayan. 15. The correct answer is letter D, dog. Achievement test. Katali-dali niya na. Number 16, letter D, dog na naman. Pinag-usapan na natin yan, ha? Marami ka dapat sources of information. Next, number 17. In determining methods of data collection, the psychologist is primarily guided by anong gumagabay sa kanya? Letter B, balloon. Did you get that? Bakit? Bakit balloon? Remember, you remember what's the referral question, right? Ang isa pang silbi ng referral question is, the referral question will determine what data gathering procedure you will use in assessing a person. It can serve as a guide. Lumabas sa item na. Let me give you some examples. Halimbawa, ito ang referral question mo. Everybody, read on your own silently. Anong method of data gathering ang gagawin mo para masagot mo yan? Most likely, magbibigay ka ng standardized test. Specifically, what test? What test? Ano usapan natin yan? Given the question, anong bagay na test dyan? IQ test. Kasi you were after intellectual fitness, bigyan mo ng IQ test. Eh kung ganito ang referral question mo, ano? Most likely, you are going to give the person a pwedeng personality test or pwede rin diagnostic interview. Right? Or a structured interview. You see how the referral question will guide you what procedure to use. Another example, ito. I-interview mo yan? Hindi, baka hindi ka pansinin yan. Kasi may suspected nga na may autism siya, eh di ibig sabihin hindi namamansin yan, hindi nagme-maintain ng eye contact yan, o anong maganda dyan? Gawin mo na laboratory observation. Maliwanag? Referral questions will guide you what data gathering procedure you will give. Kaya importante talaga yan, okay? Next, number 18, the correct answer is letter incremental validity, di ba? In-explain ko to nung exam 2, letter A, apple. Did you get that? Let's talk about incremental validity. Isa pa? Ready? Anong ibig sabihin ng incremental validity? From the term increment, sa Tagalog, nadadagdagan. Ano yung nadadagdagan sa incremental validity? Ano? Anong nadadagdagan? Ay, nakalagay na nga. Anong nadadagdagan? Yung validity, nadadagdagan. So, nadadagdagan ang validity ng isang test because, bakit? Bakit nadadagdagan ang validity ng isang test? Because we are using different methods of validating the test, and it comes out that the test is really valid. Maliwanag ba? Halimbawa, para mas malinaw, meron akong depression test. It's standardized. According to the manual of the test, are you listening? According to the manual of the test is valid. Why? Nung kinorelate daw yung test na yan sa BDI, stands for Beck's Depression Inventory, ang correlation daw ng dalawa ay 0.95. Anong validity procedure yan? Ha? Convergent. Bakit? Kasi pareho sila ng construct ng test. Depression test. Beck's Depression Inventory. O di convergent validity ka. Tapos lumabas, it's direct and strong. So, ibig sabihin, this test is as good as the BDI. So, it's valid using convergent validity. Eh, praning ka. Hindi. Gusto ko talagang masigurado that this test is valid. You would like to increase your confidence that the test is valid. Anong gagawin mo? Nag-discriminant validity ka ng sarili mo. Paano yung discriminant? Administer mo yung test na yan. Administer mo yung test on what? Pag-discriminant, dali. Hanap ka ng established test on two approaches. Pwede yung walang kinalaman sa depression or pwede yung kabaliktaran ng depression, right? O, halimbawa, kumuha ka ng test na kabaliktaran ng depression. Remember, that's also discriminant validity, right? O, happiness test. At ang lumabas, negative and strong. Valid or not? Valid. So, nagkaroon siya ng incremental validity. Why? Kasi valid siya even if you use discriminant validity. Eh, praning ka pa rin. I really want to make sure that this test is valid. Anong nangyari? Nag-contrasted groups ka pa. In-administer mo yung test na yan sa mga diagnosed depressed versus those people who are normal. At anong lumabas? Nung nag-t-test ka, sabi sa t-test, those people who were diagnosed depressed had significantly higher scores compared to normal population, lalong nag-increase yung confidence mo na valid nga yung test na yan. Eh, praning ka pa rin, nag-content validity ka pa. Anong ginawa mo sa content validity? Pinadala mo yung kopya ng test mo sa mga experts in depression all over the world. Pati si Aaron Beck, pinadalan mo. And lo and behold, after 3 days, bumalik na yung mga sinend mong test, walang items ang na-reject. Lahat sila agree na yung items mo are items about depression. Lalong nag-increase ang confidence mo that this depression test is indeed valid. Maliwanag, that's what you mean by incremental validity. Alam nyo, sa tunay na buhay, may incremental validity rin. Okay? Halimbawa, sa pagsusyota. Halimbawa, pwede kayo, pag ito, pinakinggan nyo, makukuha nyo na yung incremental validity. Halimbawa, you are looking for a lifetime partner. Siyempre, gusto mo yung mahanap mo, valid. Someone that you really like. Someone who really fits your standard, right? Halimbawa, nakikipag-date ka na sa isang guy. Nakikipag-date ka na, kasi matalino siya. Kasi that's one of your requirements, matalino. So yes, matalino siya. Gusto ko siya, kaya ako nakikipag-date sa kanya. Valid na yan. Pero, habang lumalabas kayo, habang you get to know each other, maya-maya, nalaman mo na, ay, Christian din, magaling sa Bible. Eh, requirement mo yun. So ano nangyari? Lalong tumindi yung like mo sa kanya, ay, valid itong maging lifetime partner. As you went along your relationship, hindi pa kayo nito, no? Getting to know pa lang to, no? Maganda ang family background. Di ba? Mag-importante yan. Hindi siya broken family. Okay si tita, okay si tito, okay yung mga kapatid niya, no? Okay to, another points to. Ano pa? Galing sa exclusive school. May kaya tong pamilyang to. Maya-maya ano pa, nalaman mo, may kotse! Kotse! Makakapunta kami ng Tagaytay nito. No? Hindi kami magkukulong-kulong yun. Oy, eto hindi ko naman nilalait yung mga walang kotse, but honestly, mas komportable ang dating kapag may kotse. Wag na kayo ako, sir, alam nyo, tinitignan ko po talaga yung kanyang panloob. Ulul, no? Importante ang may kotse, ha? Kaya guys, bago kayo makipag-date, please lang, bumili kayo ng kotse, ha? Huwag niyong i-commute yung mga girls. Diba girls, no? Oo, yung mga yan, ayaw na pinagpapawisan yan. Ayaw nagka-tricycle ng mga yan, kung walang pambili, maghiram muna, ha? Maghiram. May kotse, okay na naman. Tapos yung kotse, ano pa? Naka-BMW. Ay, naku, naka-BMW. Ano pa? Habang lumalabas kayo, ay, walang bisyo. Hindi nag-smoke, hindi nag-drink. Sino dito gusto walang bisyo? Taas ang kamay, girls, walang bisyo ang boyfriend. Gusto? Di ba? Hindi nagdodota. Wow! Walang barkada. Pero, listen, hindi pa tapos. Hey, ang clincher. Parang talagang sasagutin mo na eh. Parang bukas sasagutin mo na, nalaman mo pa, magaling sa assessment. Na-explain niya sa akin paano nag-work ang standard deviation. Naturo niya sa akin paano kunin ang z-score. Wala na. Mamaya sasagutin mo na yan. Dapat next week pa mamaya na yan. Kaliwanag? So, habang tumatagal, nag-i-increase yung liking mo sa kanya. Ganon din doon sa incremental validity sa test. Kaliwanag? Okay. Gising na gising kayo pag ganyan yung mga usapan, Okay. So boys, sandali yung, yung words of wisdom ko. Importante ang kotse, Importante yan. Para makabili ka, dapat may license ka ng RTM. Para magka-racket ka, may pambili ka ng kotse, Okay, next. Number 19. The correct answer is letter D, dog. 19, dog. 20, isip na lang yung mga madadali, Letter B, balloon. Kadali-dali niya, balloon. 21 is letter D, dog. All of the above, kadali-dali lang din yan. 22 is letter, ano sagot nyo? Ang lumabas sa answer key, A, apple. Pero, upon second look, kung titignan mo ng maigi, I think the correct answer here should be letter B, balloon. Tama? Do you agree? Appear mga nag-letter B. Bakit? Pag-usapan natin, what's wrong? What's wrong with with letter... Ito, anong choice to? With letter B. Kasi hanapin mo dito yung wrong kasi may except. Diba? The following are true except. O, hanapin mo yung false. Ano yung false dyan? Bakit yun yung tamang sagot? What's the false here? Kasi hindi naman po lahat ng test ay performance test. Did you also think that way? Diba? May mga test naman kasi, paper and pencil Not all tests are performance tests. So it's clearly letter B. Alright? Next, number 23, the correct answer is letter D, dog. Tama? Okay, pag-usapan natin. Ito medyo, mapag-main lang tong item na ito, Anong pinakaiba ng testing and assessment? In my lecture, I did not discuss testing. Yung test, diniscuss ko as a tool. Right? Pero dito kasi, ginawa niyang ing yung testing. Diba? Sige, pag-usapan natin, what's the difference between testing and assessment in terms of method? Kasi sabi dito, all of the above. O, di isa-isahin natin. In terms of method, testing is the use of tests. It is a process where you administer the test. Yung assessment, anong method ang ginagamit dyan? You interpret. Tama? Iba yung administering sa interpreting. Ibang metodo yun. Next, depth. Ano ang information sa testing? You get the raw score. Ano ang information sa assessment? Yung meaning ng raw score. So ano mas malalim? Yung raw score o yung meaning? Yung meaning. Diba? So tama rin. Magkaiba sila in terms of depth. How about number 3? Focus of the process. Ano ang focus ng testing? The use of test or getting the raw score. Diba? Ginagamit mo yung scoring system sa manual, that's the focus of testing. Ano ang focus ng assessment? Describing the person. Iba kasi yung kinukuha mo yung raw score niya, sa dinidescribe mo na siya. See? So I agree with number 23 that the correct answer is all of the above. Kasi magkaiba sila doon sa tatlong aspeto na yan. Method, depth, and focus of the process. Number 24, the correct answer is letter D, dog. Cut scores. In-explain ko na yan, yung cut score na yan. Next, number 25, which of the following is not true? Ibig sabihin yung false. Hanapin mo yung false sa number 25. The correct answer is, ano yung false? Letter C. Non-standardized tests cannot be used for psychological assessment. Bakit? Anong mali dun? Anong mali dun? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng non-standardized methods? Ito yung mga tools na ginagamit mo na hindi naman reliable o hindi naman valid. Pero pwede siyang gamitin tools. Ang tanong, can you use those methods in assessing a person even if wala naman siyang psychometric properties? Yes or no? Yes, pwede. Such as what? Unstructured interview is one example. Wala namang reliability, validity yan eh. Right? Ano pa? Informal observation is another. Pwede mo namang gamitin yan. Peer or community interview or sinabi ko kanina, social media accounts. Again, anong tawag niya dito? Everybody read. Non-standardized. Kahit ba non-standardized siya, ibig sabihin hindi mo na pwede gamitin yan? No. Pwede pa rin. But, hindi pwede, yan lang. Hindi pwede yan lang. Ideally, in assessment, what do we do? Multiple sources. Meron kang standardized methods, meron ka rin non-standardized methods, i-combine mo yon, doon manggagaling yung assessment report mo. That's the ideal kind of assessment. Multiple sources, both standardized and non-standardized. Pero we avoid yung walang standardized. Yung lahat, ito lang. Diba? As much as possible, at least meron kang standardized method din. Okay? Next, number 26, the correct answer is, isa pa to, the primary difference between objective and projective test is, ito sa tingin ko, pwedeng dalawa ang sagot. Ang lumabas sa answer key is letter C. Who answered letter C? Did you get that? Okay. Pero sa tingin ko, pwede rin ang letter A, the test stimuli. Who answered A? Okay, let me rationalize this. Bakit? Remember, anong ibig sabihin ng objective personality test? Ano yung SPT? Stands for? Standardized Personality Test. Okay, usually ang items niyan, anong itsura? Ganyan. Likert. Diba? There's a statement, may number, tapos kukunin mo yung raw score towards the end. Okay? Ang projective test, ganyan ba yung item ng projective test? Hindi, di ba? Anong itsura? Tell me, what do you see? Tapos iti-take note mo yung sagot niya dyan. Tama. Okay, so, bakit parehong pwede tamang sagot? The test stimuli. Magkaiba ba yung stimuli? Yes or no? Yes. Doon sa standardized, ang stimuli niya verbal. Babasahin, tapos bibilugan. Dito, hindi naman verbal yan eh. Picture yan eh. Vague stimulus ang tawag dyan. Vague, malabo. Tapos hahayaan mo yung kliyente mo to give meaning to the vague stimulus. So magkaiba talaga sila ng stimuli. Verbal, non-verbal. Clear, vague. Diba? Eh yung letter C, skill level. Anong kinalaman ng skill level dyan? Do you agree skill level din? Yes, kasi kadali-dali lang kunin ng raw score niya, no? Add mo lang yung mga numbers, unless may mga reverse items, right? Oh. Pero towards the end, you just add those numbers, that's the raw score, you compare it to a norm, that's it. Eh sa projective, is it as easy as that? No. You need clinical training to interpret kung anong pinagsabi niya sa nakita niya dyan. That's not easy. Kaya nga, mas mataas ang level of skill na kailangan if you are administering projective test compared to standardized personality test. Kaya pwede rin ang letter C, in fairness. Actually, pwede mo nga i-argue yung B rin, pwede. Kasi magkaiba ng proseso yan. Iba ang proseso ng standardized test, iba rin ang proseso ng projective test. Di ba? Pwede mo rin i-argue dyan. Sino nag-B? O, see, meron din sumagot ng D. The traits or characteristics they assess. Sino sumagot ng D? Meron ba? Ito medyo, pwedeng obviously hindi. No? Okay, sige. Next. So, i-mark nyo na lang yung mga items na yan, ha? Number 28. 27, letter D. Dog. O, alam niyo na yan, ha? Ano first name ni Spearman? Wala? Britney? Charles? Di ba factor analysis, Spearman? O. Sino yung lagi niyang kasama nag-factor analysis? Si Cattell. Ano first name ni Cattell? Si Raymond. Raymond Cattell is known for fluid and crystallized intelligence. Pati na yung 16 PF. Paano yung nabuo yung personality factors na 16? Nag-factor analysis siya kasama ni Spearman. Okay? Di ba nag-post ako dati ng source? Binasa niyo ba yung history ng factor analysis? Basahin niyo yan, ha? Nag-post ako dati sa lecture ko. Next, number 28. The correct answer is letter A. Kadali-dali niyo ito, ha? Aptitude. Aptitude is potential. Doon sa item, what will make you think it's aptitude? Because of the word likelihood. Okay? Next, number 29, letter B, balloon. 30 is letter A, apple. 31 is neuropsychological test, assess what? B, boy. Brain functioning, di ba? Like what? Ano yung mga neuropsychological test na alam nyo? MRI. Ano pa? CT scan. PET scan. PET scan stands for, ano yung PET? Positron emission tomography. Yung CT, ano yung CT? Actually, ang talagang kumpleto nun, CAT scan. Hindi CT scan. Yung CAT, computer action tomography. Diba? Yun yung CAT. Or CT scan for short. Yun yung mga neuropsychological test. Ha? MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. Anong pinakamahal? Yung MRI. Bakit pinakamahal ang MRI? Kasi it enables you to see what's happening inside your brain in real time. Yung CAT scan kasi, yung PET scan na yan, parang x-ray lang din yung pipicture at tapos, yun yung brain mo. Pero ang MRI, habang yung brain mo gumagana, nakikita mo yung loob. That's why it's really, really expensive. Ang isang MRI machine, sabi sa mga estimates, kung bibilin mo yun sa Pilipinas, umaabot ng 10 million ang isang machine. Kaya swerte ang mga ospital na may MRI. I think St. Luke's meron. Basta pag ang ospital mayaman, may MRI. Sa PGH ba meron? Wala yata. I'm not sure, no? Pero mahal ang MRI machine, no? But very useful. Next. So, ano yan? Pwede nyo ilagay sa wishlist nyo sa Christmas. Ano gusto mong gift? MRI machine. Asan na ako? Number na. 32, alright. 32 is letter B, balloon. Diba? Kasi, ang interest test is not for the use of employers. Usually, sino ang gumagamit ng interest test? Yung mga applicants, yung mga college students. Diba? Hindi employer ang gumagamit niya. 33, the correct answer is letter B, balloon. Examine and combine scores on 2 or more subtests. Okay, let's emphasize on number 33. Paano ba magsulat ng assessment report? Sino naka-experience na magsulat ng assessment report? You have different raw scores in front of you. How do you write an assessment report? Usually, kino-combine mo yung mga subtests, tapos yun yung i-interpret mo. Hindi yung lahat ng raw score doon i-interpret mo. Usually, kino-combine mo, halimbawa, Wechsler. Diba? Ang Wechsler, merong ilang subtests. Meron siyang verbal scale, meron din siyang performance scale, right? Usually sa Wechsler, hindi naman yung, anong score niya sa info, anong score niya, hindi naman ganun eh. I-combine mo na lahat ng scores under verbal, so anong masasabi mo sa kanyang verbal skills? And then, anong masasabi mo sa kanyang performance skills? And then what? Iyan na yung outline mo. For the verbal intelligence of the person, for the performance intelligence of the person, ganun. Hindi yung lahat yan, interpret mo, ilan siya sa picture completion, ilan siya sa digit coding, ilan siya sa similarities. Baka gumawa ka na ng nobela pag gano'n. Diba? So usually, you just get the bigger picture, kamusta siya sa mga major subtests, yun ngayon yung gagawin mong outline for your assessment report. Clear? Ngayon, another thing about number 33, actually, kung titignan mo, lahat naman to pwede. Sino sumagot ng A? Taas ang kamay. Letter A, meron. Sino sumagot ng C? Taas ang kamay. Sino sumagot ng D? Okay. Hindi pala lahat pwede, no? Letter D definitely mali. Hindi yan, no? Pwede rin ang A, pwede rin ang C. Okay? Pero, tingnan niyo yung number 33. Ano yung word dyan na clincher? Best. Ingat kayo sa board exam, maraming ganitong items, gumagamit sila ng word na best. Ibig sabihin, pag ginamit nila yung word na best, lahat ng choices nila, pati yung mga tinatawag na distractor, yung hindi tamang sagot, no? Yung foil choices, pwede rin maging tamang sagot. Pero ang hahanapin mo yung best. Kahit sa tunay na buhay, lahat naman sila pwede, pero ilan lang pipiliin mo? Isa lang. Sino yung isa lang pipiliin mo? Yung best. Hindi pa nila lahat sila pipiliin mo, magulo yan. Okay? Dapat yung best. Okay? Ngayon, ano ang definition ng best? Diyan ang magkakatalo. Diba? Ano definition ng best usually in board exams? Maraming choices, ano yung best? Una, pwede yung kung anong choice yung pinaka-obvious. Kung ano yung nauuna. Ano ba yung best? Anyone? Best. Kung ano yung pinaka-obvious, kung ano yung pinaka-connected, kung ano yung unang gagawin, yun. Yun yung mga definition ng best dyan, ha? Ingat kayo sa mga ganyang items, ha? Okay. Pero kung yan ang itatanong sa proctor, ha? Ma'am, excuse me, lahat po ito pwede. Naku, baka may mangyari, ha? Hindi checkan yung papel, basta you choose the best, ha? Next, number 34, letter A, nomothetic analysis. Ano pinagkaiba ng nomothetic sa idiographic? Pag nomothetic, you are analyzing personality by comparing that to a group of people, right? Kaya nga, pag nomothetic approach, ginagawa mong number yung personality. Ilan ang score mo sa openness, ilan ang score mo sa conscientiousness compared to the majority, nomothetic approach yun. Kaya most standardized personality tests are using nomothetic approach because they are putting scores in the traits. And those scores come from the comparison to a norm compared to idiographic. Pag idiographic, paano mo ina-analyze ang personality? You are analyzing personality through its uniqueness. Hindi mo kinukumpara yung personality niya sa norm. You are analyzing a person's personality based on his or her unique traits. Ano yung ibang mga methods dito kapag idiographic ang approach? Hindi ka nagpapatesting dito eh. Diba? Clinical interview, free association, diary. Di ba yung mga sinabi ko na, narrative. Okay? So yan ang pinagkaiba ng nomothetic sa idiographic. But then again, in assessment, what do you do? Combination of everything. Mas maganda, meron kang nomothetic, meron ka rin idiographic. Kung masipag ka na psychometrician. Okay? Next, number 35, the correct answer is letter C. Stand or stay 9. Tama to, I agree with this. When assessing personality traits, bihira lang ang gumagamit ng Z-score or percentile rank kapag ang construct ay personality. Usually, saan ginagamit ang Z-score or percentile rank? Intelligence or achievement. Okay? Pero pag personality test, usually talaga stand or stay 9. Next, number 36 is letter B, balloon. Bakit? What is the least utilized test? Kapag yung ina-assess mo raw ay state. Anong sagot? Test, retest. Bakit? Anong pinagkaiba ng state at trait? Let's review. Kapag yung construct mo state versus kapag yung construct mo ay trait. Kapag sinabi mo na ang construct mo ay trait, anong difference? Pag trait, matagal, mabilis, matagal. It's highly stable. Ito yung mga constructs na matagal magbago. Like what? Intelligence is one. Okay? How about state construct? Ano yan? Ito yung mga construct na mabilis magbago. Like what? Moods. Stress level. You can be stressed 9:45 a.m. You can be lowly stressed after 15 minutes, so on and so forth. Ngayon, bakit ang sagot ay letter B? Bakit huwag kang magta-test, retest kapag yung ina-assess mo ay trait? Or ay state, I mean. Why? Because it quickly changes. Ano ngayon? what would be a possible problem if the test that you are assessing measures a state, tapos nag-test retest ka? Ano magiging posibleng dahilan o pangyayari? It will lower down your correlation. Do you agree? Kasi ibang-iba na yung number doon sa pangalawa. Bakit? Nagbago na kaagad yung kanyang state and that will lower down your correlation. And if you are using test retest, you don't like to have a very low R. Let me give you an example. Halimbawa, saan na yan? I think pinigay ko na itong example na to. Ito. Yan Imagine ninyo, nag-test retest ka. Tapos yung construct ng test mo ay state or trait. State or trait. State, sabi sa item. Dahil state yan, ano nangyari? Ayan nag-iiba-iba ka agad. So kapag yan, kinorelate mo, tingnan mo yung mangyayari sa R mo. Lagi mo doon. And then, okay. It will be, ano yung R mo? 0.226. Mas mababa pa nga, 0.19 lang. And it's not even significant. You see that? So, anong conclusion mo? Yung test ko, hindi reliable. Pero for all you know, baka naman reliable naman talaga yung test mo. It's just that, yung minimeasure mo kasi ay state. Kaya anong solution dito? Para hindi masyadong nagbabago yung kanilang state, para ma-capture mo, mag-alternate form ka. Kasi sa test retest may interval di ba? Test, interval, retest. Pag nag-alternate form ka, test. Akin na. Alternate form, sagot. So makaka-capture mo yung constant state niya. Kasi walang interval kapag alternate form. Maliwanag? Okay. Pero anong problema sa alternate form? Sabi ko, mahirap gumawa ng second form. Mahirap na nga yung isa, dadalawahin mo pa. Diba? Alright. Next, number 40. 37. Letter A, apple. Number 38 is letter C, cactus. 39 is letter, sinasabi ko na to, B, geographic yan. Hindi mo kinukumpara sa iba, yung trait ng tao. Number 40 is letter D, dog. Rejecting a diagnosis that in actuality characterizes a client. Alam nyo, in assessment, itong number 40 na ito, ang pinag-uusapan namin dito is the accuracy of our assessment. Okay? Ano ba yung mga possible outcomes of our assessment? Are you familiar with this? Your assessment can be a true negative, it can be a false positive, it can be false positive, it can be true positive. Lalo na kapag yung assessment mo, yung goal is to diagnose. Are you following? So if your assessment, if your referral question is about diagnosis, yung assessment mo can fall in any one of those category. Ngayon, saan dyan yung matutuwa ka? Yung yes, ang galing ko. Saan dyan? Dapat true, negative, or true, positive. Bakit? Anong nangyari kapag true pa negative? Halimbawa, you gave the person an assessment to diagnose a certain disorder. Kapag sinabi mong true negative, ibig sabihin, tagalogin mo, totoo, wala. Ibig sabihin, sinabi mo sa assessment, wala siyang diagnosis, at wala talaga. Di tama yung assessment mo. Yung true positive, ano ibig sabihin nun? Sinabi mo sa report mo, meron siyang ganito, at meron nga talaga siya. Correct din yun. Magaling ka kapag yung assessment mo nagpa-fall sa true negative or true positive. Yari ka kapag ang assessment mo bumabagsak sa dalawang false. Anong ibig sabihin na false positive? Sabi mo, meron. False positive False positive. Sabi mo positive, meron to. Yung pala, wala. Sinira mo yung buhay ng kliyente mo. Sabi mo schizophrenic siya, hindi naman pala talaga false positive. Ito rin naman, ano yung false negative? Sabi mo, wala. Pero, meron. Wala, okay to. Clear. Meron. Nakapasok sa kumpanya. Inatake ng panic attack. Pumatay ng 5 empleyado. Yari ka. Ba't po pinapasok yan? Okay? Ang tanong, Bakit ang assessment minsan nagiging false negative at false positive? Bakit? Dahil it starts with letter E. Dahil sa error. Remember error, di ba? Wala naman talagang assessment na 100% walang error. Lahat may error. Pero, may paraan on how to decrease errors. No? How? How do you decrease errors? How do you check kung yung iyong test ay wala masyadong error? Paano? By checking your test reliability. Kaya nga tayo nagko-Cronbach's alpha. Kaya nga tayo, ano ba yung mga ibang methods? Ha? Ano ba yung mga ibang methods para i-check yung error ng test? Saan ba nanggagaling yung error? The environment. Saan nanggagaling yung error? The way you administer. Kaya ka nga nagte-test, retest para malaman mo, right? Sa scoring, anong error to? Anong method to para i-check mo kung walang error yung scoring? Inter-rater. The items, kaya ka nga nag-Cronbach's alpha. Kaya ka nga nag-Spearman-Brown, etc. And of course, the error can also come from the test takers themselves. Hindi sila motivated, meron silang problema that day, so on and so forth. Pero again, what's the good news? There are certain ways on how to minimize the error para tumataas yung chance na yung assessment mo ay babagsak saan? Sa true negative at true positive. Pwede mo bang ma-eliminate 100% ang error? Yes or no? No. Even in statistics, di ba? What's the best we could do? Ilang errors ang pinapayagan natin? 0.001, right? 0.05 pwede. Ilang percent error pag 0.05? You are only allowing how many percent of error? Pag 0.05, 5% lang. Okay. 0.01, ilang error lang? 1% lang. But regardless, kahit 1% lang yung error mo dyan, error pa rin yun. Kaya nga sa statistics, hindi ka pwede magkaroon ng 0.0 level of error. No, wala. There's no such thing. Kasi sa mundo, wala talagang perfect. Kahit ang statistics, kahit ang psychological test. Kaya there is always a chance that an assessment may biglang babagsak sa dalawang false because of errors. Okay? So let's not expect perfection, no? From administering psychological tests. Sometimes they also fail. Okay? Next, number 41. Ba't ba ako nagagalit? Sorry hybrid na naman ako. 41 is letter B, balloon. Kadali-dali lang yan balloon. Next, number 42 is letter C, cactus. Ito na naman. The following statements are true, except, hanapin mo, ito false. Ano daw yung false? Yung letter C. Anong mali sa letter C? Hanapan nyo ng mali. Dali. What's wrong with letter C? So false daw yan. Anong mali dyan? The psychologist may only give opinions after administering psychological tests. Sa tingin ko, ang nagpamali dyan is that part. After administering psychological test. Bakit? Magbibigay ka na ng opinion after you administer the test? Anong mali doon? Kukunin mo kasi muna yung raw score. Kukumpara mo sa norm. That's the time you give the opinion. Hindi yung nagbigay ka, akin na, schizophrenic ka. Diba? Yan yung labas yun eh. Am I making sense? Hindi pa sapat yung nag-administer ka ng test para ikaw ay magbigay ng opinion. Your opinion must be based on the raw scores that you got from the psychological test. Okay? Next, number 43. Don't worry, may break tayo ha. 43 is letter, dalawa na naman yung sa tingin ko sagot dito. Ang lumabas sa answer key is letter A. In the practice of psychological assessment, the following are unethical except for, so hanapin mo yung ethical. Tama. Ang iba ethical, using a test that has not been proven reliable and valid, but its strengths and limitations are disclosed. Yes, that's ethical. Ang letter B, using a newly constructed test that has just been tested for its reliability and validity. Tama, ethical din yan. Kaya nga, sa tingin ko, pwedeng A, pwedeng B. Ngayon, marami nagtataas ng kilay sa letter A. Am I right? Bakit? Ganito yan. Nakita niyo yung in-upload ko sa Edmodo? Di ba, after pag nagparamdam ako, di ba? Nakita niyo, may in-upload ako. In-upload ko po itong file na to. The Ethical Principles of Psychologists and Code of Conduct. Yung mga hindi nag-open ng Edmodo, i-open nyo, merong PDF doon, pwede nyo i-download, ilagay nyo sa mga tablets nyo, at basahin nyo before you take the board exam. This will be very helpful. Dito po nakalagay yung mga codes of conduct, ethical behaviors that must be applied by psychologists and even psychometricians. Now, in relation to number, 43. Bakit pwede rin ang letter A? Take a look at this. Just read on your own silently. Totoo naman yun, na kapag ikaw mag-administer ka ng test, responsibilidad mo as a psychometrician that the test you're going to administer is a good test. And what is a good test? It's reliable and valid. Pero, minsan, hindi talaga maiiwasan na yung test, hindi pa siya reliable at hindi pa siya valid. Pero kung sa tingin mo, useful naman siya, pwede mo pa rin i-administer. As mentioned here, maliwanag. Did you see that? When such validity or reliability has not been established, ano raw gagawin? Psychologists describe the strengths and limitations of the test results and interpretation. Pwede hindi? Pwede pa rin. Basta, gagawin mo yan. May room pa rin to administer test na hindi reliable at hindi valid. Basta, may mention mo yung kanilang limitations. Kaya sa tingin ko, pwede rin ang letter A. So yung mga nagtataas ng kilay sa letter A, ibaba nyo na. Ibaba nyo na. Kasi nakalagay nga niyan dyan. Pwede eh. It's just that you will make it clear that those tests are not valid and reliable and they have limitations. And we give priority to tests that are already reliable and valid. Alright? Next, number 44. Letter A, apple. Number 45, letter D, dog. Number 46 is letter C, cactus. Mamaya, may comment ako dyan about what will make you say that a test is already outdated and obsolete. Pag-usapan natin mamaya yan. Next, number 47 is letter A, apple. Diba? Again, nakasulat na naman yan sa in-upload ko sa Edmodo. Everybody please read on your own silently. I-screenshot ko yung part on test security. Sa part 9, section 11 yan eh. Pero napaka-abstract, no? Pero, in real practice, in real life, how do you maintain or how do you apply the principle of test security? How? Paano? Alam nyo ba, ang application niyan is like this. The access to the answer sheet or the raw score o lahat ng testing materials dapat nakatago at limited lang sa mga taong qualified to hold or to have those tests. Like who? Sino yung mga qualified na dapat sila lang yung mag-access, may access? The HR head. Kung sino yung may lisensya sa psychometrician, yung guidance counselor sa eskwelahan, sila lang dapat may access niyan. Kaya nga, sa lahat ng opisina ng Guidance and Counseling Center, requirement na merong kulay green na, di ba kulay green yun, gawa sa bakal na cabinet, tapos pag binuksan mo, maingay. Tapos mabaho sa loob kasi ang laman, folder na puro papel. Di ba? Bakit? Doon nakalagay lahat ng results ng mga estudyante kumuha ng series of tests. Are you familiar with that? Tapos hindi lang sapat na naka-cabinet yun na dapat yung cabinet may lock, may susi. Hindi pwedeng yung basta may cabinet pero wala namang susi kahit sino pwedeng sumilip. No. Requirement na disusi yun. At sino ang may hawak ng susi? Ano, janitor? Hindi rin. Kung may RPM yung janitor, pwede. Yung RPM o yung head ng counseling center lang may hawak. Kahit sekretary, bawal. Lalo kung wala namang RPM yung sekretary. Kasi paano kung nabubor yung sekretary? Basa na ako ng mga results dito. Wala na. Nasira na kagad yung principle of confidentiality. Kahit sa mga HR offices, hindi mawawala yan. Diba? Sino nagpunta sa HR office dito ng practicum? O diba isa yan sa pinagagawa nyo? Yung nag-ayos kayo ng mga form na mararami, tapos ilalagay nyo doon? Importante yan. It's based on this principle na dapat secured. Alright? Next, 48, letter A, achievement test. 49, letter B. Madadali lang itong mga items na to. Balloon. 50 is letter C. 51 is letter D, dog. 52 is letter A, apple. Kabilis-bilis lang yan. 53 is letter B, balloon. Let's again talk about the word representative. Anong ibig sabihin ng representative? Everybody eyes on the screen. Yan ang representative. Yung taong yan ay kahalintulad ng mga taong nasa baba. Saan ginagamit yung representative in testing? When you construct norms. Remember, in norm construction, anong principle natin? Sino dapat yung bubuo ng norm? The representative of the population whom the test is for. Are you following? Kapag gumagawa ka ng norm, sino dapat yung norm? Sino yung mga isasama mong norm? Kung sino yung mga expected mong taong sasagot ng test mo in the future. So that means, there should be a Filipino norm for Filipino people. Kung ang test mo para sa mga Pilipino, sino dapat yung norm? Pilipino rin. Representative of Filipino people. Di ba, diniscuss ko yan? Di ba? Halimbawa, Filipino people yan. So, ibig sabihin, how do you construct the norm? Pupunta ka sa Luzon, pupunta ka sa Visayas, pupunta ka sa Mindanao. Kasi Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, nandoon ang mga Pilipino. Hindi pwedeng ang norm mo, puro Luzon lang. Hindi pwedeng puro Visayas lang. Hindi pwedeng puro Mindanao lang. Kaya mahirap talagang mag-construct ng norm. At alam nyo ba, listen, this is important. If you are using a norm, that is not appropriate to the raw score that you have. But still, you use that norm to interpret the raw score. Anong tawag sa'yo? Unethical ka. As indicated in the document I uploaded. Basahin niyo na lang. Silently. Bumabagsak pala siya sa definition ng obsolete or outdated test. Kapag halimbawa yung raw score mo Pilipino, pero kinumpara mo yung score niya sa mga tao sa Michigan, kasi yun na sa manual, obsolete yung iyong assessment. And you are, actually, technically, you are committing a crime, an offense against our field. Pero anong malungkot na katotohanan sa Pilipinas? Dahil mahirap nga gumawa ng tinatawag na local norm, pikit mata na lang. Pilipino ang sumagot, ikukumpara mo doon sa norm, sa manual, na mga kano ang performance. Actually, technically, you are performing a crime against our field. Maliwanag. Pero pipiliin nyo, halimbawa, nagtrabaho na kayo, tapos sa opisina nyo, gano'n yung ginagawa. Huwag nyo na sabihin, bahala kayo kung kaya yung super, sir, alam nyo, kung mali itong ginagawa natin. Pero baka bukas, wala ka ng trabaho. Diba? Bahala ka na lang mag-weigh, ha? I cannot be with you all the time. Pero ito ang nakalagay sa ating prinsipyo. Okay, sir, dapat po talaga gumawa tayo ng local norm dito. Ha? Alright? Questions? Sige, ihi muna kayo, short break. Please be back 10 minutes. Go. Timer ko kayo, 10 minutes. Ano number na? 54. Oh, by the way pala, speaking of ethics, aside from you are using a norm that is not appropriate to the raw score, isa pang violation na very common sa testing ngayon ay yung pag-photocopy ng mga answer sheet. Kasi makakatipid ka talaga pag ganun di ba? Yung bibili ka na ng set of originals, pero yun yung huling pagbili mo. Ano? Mag-set aside ka ng mga blanco, tapos yun na lang yung ipapapotocopy mo pag ubus na. Nako! I don't know how you're going to face that, pero remember, lisensyado ka na. And that is considered a malpractice kapag ikaw pa mismo nagsa-xerox. Diba, nandun ka sa Xerox machine, tapos yung original, pinopotocopy mo, tapos may license ka, no? I don't know how you're going to deal with that. Ako kasi wala akong experience dyan, kasi I work in the academy. Pero in the industry, do you agree? Nagkalat ang ganyang practices. No? Kasi nagtitipid nga naman yung company sa pagbili ng psychological test. Okay? Kayo nang bahala mag-decide na kung paninindigan nyo o hindi. Okay, number 54, the correct answer is letter C. When a test is administered to one general population, norm should be established using a representative sample that represents all segments of the population in proportion to their numbers. Di ba? Diniscuss ko to. Dapat all segments daw ng population. Kung ang norm mo ay mga Pilipino, may mga Pilipino nanggaling sa Luzon, nanggaling sa Visayas, nanggaling sa Mindanao, at dapat yung dami nila ay pantay-pantay. Yan yung tinatawag na stratified sampling. Naturo ba ito ni Sir Jason sa research method? Di ba nag-research method kayo? Hindi ba? Okay. Pero ang tawag dyan ay stratified sampling. Yung sa bawat segment ng Pilipinas, meron kang pantay-pantay na tao doon to be considered in a certain research or in the norm. Okay? Hindi lang puro Luzon, puro Visayas, puro Mindanao. Dapat lahat yon pantay-pantay, merong representative. Anyway, next, number 55 is letter D, dog. Number 56 is letter D, dog. Let's review. Pag sinabi mo na yung scale mo nominal, ano ibig sabihin nun? Categorical yung data, di ba? Male, female, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Okay? Single is complicated in a relationship, mga nominal data yan. Pag ordinal, ano yung ordinal? Ibig sabihin ng ordinal scale or data, yung mga numbers na nakukuha mo ay gives you an indication of the person's performance compared to others, naka-rank. Kaya ang percentile rank can be considered an ordinal scale. Kapag interval, ano pinagkaiba niyan sa ratio? Pag interval, yung zero niya ay arbitrary zero. Ibig sabihin, zero does not mean absence. Tama? Yung ratio, zero means absence. Halimbawa, ano ang magandang variable sa interval? Temperature. Kapag ang temperature mo ay zero, it doesn't mean walang temperature. Anong ibig sabihin? Malamig. Tama? Compared kapag height, kapag ang height mo zero, ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi wala kang height, di pwedeng walang height. Pwede ba walang height? So ano itsura mo? Wala kang height. Wala, di ba? Ibig sabihin, non-existing yun. Kasi nga, absolute zero ang pinag-uusapan kapag ratio. Okay? Next, number 57 is letter C, cactus. Number 58 is letter B, balloon. I agree with 58. Bakit? Tingnan nyo, anong mali sa letter A? Bakit hindi pwede yung letter A? Sino sabagot ng A? Actually, I'm expecting that a lot of you kakagat sa letter A. Pero bakit mali ang letter A? You are among the top 30 students in the class. Tapos ang percentile rank mo ay 87. Oh, di ba pasok 13 plus 87, 100. O di na sa top 13 ka. Bakit? Kasi, ang mali, that is only true only if the total of test takers are 100. Ang tanong, sinabi ba dyan na 100 yung kumuha? Hindi naman eh. Hindi ka sigurado. Diba? Kung 100 yung kumuha, pasok ka sa top 13. Hindi naman sinabi kung ilan ang kumuha ng test. Diba? In percentile rank, that's very important. You know the total number of people who took the test. Okay? So, hindi sinabi sa choice kung ilan ang kumuha ng test, kaya hindi po pwede ang letter A. Next, number 59. Letter A, apple, criterion, reference. I agree. Next, number 16. Letter B, random error. Okay. Anong ibig sabihin ng error? Ano sinabi ko? Error means what? Factors that hide or cover the true score. Let's review. Anong sinasabi ng classical theory? Remember, anong ibig sabihin ng classical theory? Every raw score that you get is not yet the true score. Laging may halong error. Am I making sense? Okay. So going back to the item number 60, bakit ang tamang sagot ay random error? Ano ba yung random error? Because classic test theory assumes a person's true score is the same over time. Repeating the same test over and over gives a distribution of scores that reflect random error. Hindi nga pwedeng true score lang lagi makukuha mo kasi lagi yung may error eh. Let me demonstrate how random error occurs. Everybody focus on the screen. Halimbawa, you repeat the same test over and over towards a single test taker. Halimbawa, si Pedro. Isang test lang yan ha. Unang score niya 85. Pangalawang score niya 80, next 92, next is 89, next is 82. Bakit naggumagalaw-galaw yung scores niya? Kasi merong error. Right? Hello? Am I listening? Ilang units ang ginalaw from 85 to 80? 5. From 80 to 92, 12. From 92 to 89, 3. From 89 to 82, 7. I-average mo yan, yan yung tinatawag na standard error of measurement. Okay? So kaya nag-fluctuate yung scores, tumatalon-talon yung scores, kasi nga, bawat raw score na makukuha mo, merong error. Hindi pwedeng wala. Hindi pwedeng yung makukuha mo yung true score. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi ng classical theory. Pero paano mo, meron bang paraan para bumaba yung mga errors? Meron. Kaya mo nga chinecheck yung reliability ng test. But you cannot completely eliminate the error. Laging may laman ng SEM. Hindi pwedeng nag-compute ka ng SEM tapos lumabas sa SPSS, 0. No. Laging may laman po ang SEM. Okay? Kasi lahat ng proseso, meron talagang error. Next, number 61, balloon. Letter B. Number 62 is, ano to? Letter over or underestimation? Yun lang naman yun eh. Underestimation, letter C. Pero ang lumabas sa answer key, letter B. Pero ako, I would stick with underestimation. Hindi siya overestimation. Bakit? Let me explain. Anong ibig sabihin ng carry over or practice effect? Anong ibig sabihin yan? Yung performance ng mga test takers, mas mataas na sa pangalawa. Bakit? Bakit mas mataas na sa pangalawa? Because they remember the items. They review the items after they took the first test. So the second time they take the test, mas matataas yung scores nila. Is that good or bad? That's bad because that will lower down your R. Di ba, dinemonstrate ko kanina? Kapag yung scores mo, mas mataas sa pangalawa, bababa yung R mo. O ngayon, ano mangyayari? Ano mangyayari kapag mas mababa na yung R mo? It may lead you to conclude that your test procedure is not reliable. Remember, test retest to eh. Anong tinatest natin sa test retest? Kung wala bang extraneous variables yung procedures. Can you still follow? Hello? Test retest, anong chinecheck natin doon? Wala bang extraneous variables yung procedure? O, nag-test retest ka, mas mataas yung scores nila sa pangalawa kasi naalala nila yung items, right? That will lower down your R. Anong magiging conclusion mo? Ay, may mali sa procedure ko. When in fact, baka wala naman talagang mali sa procedure. Maybe your procedure is okay. So what explains the low R? What explains the low R? Their familiarity with the items beforehand. So baka i-conclude mo na, ay, yung test ko hindi reliable. Pero baka reliable naman talaga siya. See, that's underestimation. Am I making sense? Kaya ako, I would stick with underestimation. Kaya ano ang solution dito? Mag-alternate form ka. Okay? Mag-alternate form ka para ma-eliminate yung carry-over effect. Lalabas talaga yung tunay na R. Okay? Next. 63. Letter A, apple. O, dapat alam niyo na yan, ha? Mas maraming items, mas tumataas ang reliability. 64 is letter B, balloon. Unidimensional. Ano ibig sabihin ng unidimensional? Let's review. Yung test mo is only measuring one thing. Ibig sabihin wala siyang subtest. Unlike yung ibang test, di ba, mayroong test 1, test 2, test 3. Those are called multi-dimensional tests. Mas madaling makakuha ng mataas na R, mas mataas na reliability kapag yung test mo is unidimensional. Okay? Next, number 65, letter A, apple. 66 is letter C. 67 is letter D, dog. Bilis na lang yan, kaya ini-skipan ko na lang, ha? Next. Nag-get sa 67, bakit letter D? Ibig sabihin nito, walang kinalaman yung mga tanong sa test doon sa ina-applyan niya. Ibig sabihin, may problema sa content ng test. Kasi ideally, kung ano yung posisyon na ina-applyan mo, dapat yung mga tanong sa test may kinalaman doon sa posisyon. No? So, may problema sa content validity ng test. Next, number 68 is letter A, apple. Next, number 69 is letter, ano sagot niyo dito? C. Cross-validation. Anong ibig sabihin ng cross-validation? Copy, if you like. Cross-validation is a process where we try to find out if the test is valid across different groups. Kung pwede mo bang i-generalize yung validity ng isang test sa iba't ibang grupo na nag-e-exist sa isang population. Halimbawa, meron akong test. Yung test ko, vinalidate ko sa subgroup A. Whatever that group is, okay? Vinalidate ko yung test ko. Halimbawa, 69 yan, no? A careful test constructor obtained the correlation between her test and a well-defined validity criterion. Ibig sabihin, anong procedure to? Concurrent validity, am I right? Kasi gumamit na, anong ginamit? Gumamit na criterion, di ba? Dito, gumamit siya ng criterion. Saan ba tayo gumagamit ng criterion? Pag predictive or concurrent validity, right? Nag-concurrent validity siya. Kinorelate niya yung raw score sa isang criterion. It's R.89. Are you listening? Now, halimbawa, gumamit ako ng isa pang grupo. Halimbawa, ito, mga mga Luzon yan. Taga Luzon. Gumamit ako ng mga taga Visayas. Ganong proseso din. Ang lumabas, 0.85. Is this a good or a bad test? It is a good test. Why? Meron siya tinatawag na differential validity. Anong ibig sabihin ng differential validity? That the test is valid across different groups of people. Indicator to na yung test mo ay hindi, what's the word? Biased. Kasi yung validity niya can be generalized even to other subgroups. Kasi, ito ang pangit, tignan niyo yan. Paano kung sa subgroup A, valid yung test mo? Pero sa subgroup B, ang baba. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Your test is not or is very biased to this group. Meron kang mga items na sila lang ang nakaka-relate at hindi ito. Which means that your test, meron siyang pinapanigan. Hindi siya tinatawag na culture fair. Maliwanag. Okay. So nakita niyo ba yung difference? Anong pinagkaiba ng differential validity sa cross-validation? Anong pinagkaiba? Cross-validation is the method. Differential validity is the quality of a test. Maliwanag? Tignan mo nga kung may differential quality, kung may differential validity itong test, anong gagawin mo? I-cross-validate ko. That's the difference. Okay? Again, differential validity is a quality of the test. This test has differential quality, meaning, or has differential validity, meaning, this test is valid across different groups of people in this country. Paano ko nalaman na may differential validity ito? Paano ko nalaman? Nag-cross-validation ako. Paano mag-cross-validation? I-validate ko itong test na to using different groups of people. Liwanag, that's the difference. Ha? Para malaman mo kung may differential validity, mag-cross-validation ka. Okay, para maging kalbo ka, ano gagawin mo? Magpagupit ka. Okay, that's the difference. Next, number 17. Letter D, dog. Bilis lang yan. 71 is letter D. Gusto ko itong item na to. Let's review. Dog. Range restriction. Ang tamang sagot. Range restriction. Letter... Ay, hindi. Ano ba? 71. Tama. Range restriction. Sorry. Pero, sige. Review natin. Everybody please read number 71 silently again. Go. Bakit ito naging range restriction? Range restriction is a statistical term. But as we know, in testing, we also deal with statistics. Anong nangyayari sa range restriction? You copy. Or you take a photo if you like. Range restriction happens when you only analyze the scores of few people from a large set of a population. Let me repeat. Range restriction happens when you only analyze the scores of a few people from a large set of population. Okay? Demonstrate ko. Halimbawa, meron akong gusto kong mag-correlate. Ilang variables dapat kung mag-correlate? At least. At least 2. Let's say I want to correlate variable x and y. Kasi ito yung ginawa nila dito di ba? Nag-correlate sila ng grade tsaka criterion. Sinabi ba yung criterion? Hindi. Sinabi, an exclusive preschool program has strict enrollment criteria and only accepts high marks on an enrollment test. They have found that the enrollment test, does not correlate with grades. So, ano yung variable X? Enrollment test grades. Ano yung variable Y? Yung grade. Okay, so halimbawa, yun yung variable X and Y. Nasaan ang range restriction? Ganito nangyayari. Halimbawa, kinorelate ko yung variable X and variable Y using 100 people in this population. 100 sila. Tapos yung correlation niya ay, sabihin natin hypothetically, 0.93. Nasaan ang range restriction? Anong mangyayari kung halimbawa, 20 lang yung kinorelate ko from this 100, I just got to 20 for some reason. Tamad ako. Kinuha ko lang 20. Anong nangyayari sa range restriction? Bumababa yung correlation. See? Bakit? Kasi nirestrict mo yung range Ang range naman talaga 100. Nirestrict mo sa 20 lang. Anong epekto na sa correlation mo? Bababa. That's what you mean by range restriction. Okay? Ngayon, going back to the item, bakit naging range restriction yan? Tingnan niyo yung problema. Anong sabi sa problema? Hindi raw nag-correlate yung enrollment test sa kanilang grade. Bakit? Nasaan yung range restriction doon? Doon sa first sentence. Sino sabi? Ano sabi? They only get those students with very high marks. Ibig sabihin, yung kino-correlate nila na X and Y ay nanggaling lang doon sa mga pumapasa. Hindi nila sinasama yung mga nag-fail. So, nasan yung range restriction doon? Imbis na i-correlate nila lahat, passer ka man or failure ka man, dapat yun yung kinorelate nila Ano nangyari? They only restrict it to the test passers na mas maliit. So ano mangyayari? Hindi talaga mag-correlate yan. Mababa talaga ang R mo dyan. Diba? So anong solusyon dyan? Para malaman na nila once and for all kung yung entrance test nila ay valid o hindi. Kung nakakapag-predict ng grades o hindi. Anong solusyon dyan? Anong solusyon? Kumuha rin sila ng mga estudyante kahit bagsak. Maliwanag? So, kukuha sila ng batch na estudyante na kahit bagsak, kukunin pa rin nila para magkakaroon din sila ng grades in the future. Yun ngayon yung i-correlate nila. In that way, yung N na yan, lalaki yan. Dapat nga lahat yan lahat. Isasama mo para talaga ma-confirm mo if this test is valid or not. You should not restrict the range. Maliwanag ba? Naipaliwanag ko ba ng maayos? Yun yung tinatawag na range restriction. Kaya I agree with the answer here. Ngayon, di ba nakakatakot yung mga ganitong items? Imagine niyo number 71, ang haba ng explanation. That means you need to be able to think that fast in the test. Ganun kabilis. At maraming mga items na lumalabas in case form. Kaya nga tayo nagkakaroon ng case conference para matrain kayo na mag-isip ng ganun kabilis. Ngayon, ang tip ko sa inyo, sa board exam, kapag may mga items sa ganyan, yung talagang pinakailangan mo pag-isipan, matagal, skipan mo muna, balikan mo mamaya. Or kung kaya mo talaga mabilis mag-isip, alam mo na kaagad, go, sagutan mo. Pero kailangan mo ng more time, baka mas-stuck ka dyan, gunamit ka ng oras. Okay? So, ganun yung tip ko, Next, number 72, the correct answer is A, apple. Bilis-bilis lang yan. 73 is letter... Ay, tama ba? 3. A. Apple din. So, dapat alam niyo yung RA 129, Nabanggit ba ito ni Sir Jason? Sa group niyo na ano ba yan? 74 is letter C. Bakit? Bakit ang sagot letter C? Let's read letter C. Never. Construct validation is an ongoing process. O, ano ibig sabihin nun? Okay. May kinalaman na naman sa obsolete at saka outdated test. Remember, anong ibig sabihin ng ongoing process lagi ang construct validation? Remember, kahit anong construct ng test. Let's review. Anong ibig sabihin ng construct? Ano ibig sabihin ng construct? This is what your test is measuring. Right? Hello, are you still with me? Energy! Saan yung mga energy nyo? Okay. What the test is measuring is construct. Give me an example of a construct. Stress. Ano pa? Personality. Ano pa? Intelligence. Ako na lang kaya mag-test. Hindi kayo sumasagot. Give me a construct of a test. Sexual promiscuity. Ano pa? Openness. Conscientiousness. Lahat yan test construct. Ngayon, anong ibig sabihin kapag yung construct mo lagi is ongoing process? It means, given any psychological construct, lahat yan, as time goes by, nagbabago ang nature niyan. Do you agree? Halimbawa, intelligence. Di ba, diniscuss ko na yung Flynn effect. Anong ibig sabihin ng Flynn effect? As time goes by, people in a certain generation become smarter compared to the previous generation. So, nagbabago yung capability natin on intelligence as time goes by. Eh, yung anxiety, nagbabago ba yan? Yes or no? Yes, nag-change ng nature yan. Iba ang kinaa-anxious ng mga taong nasa World War II versus sa mga taong 1980s versus sa mga millennials. Katulad nyo, iba-iba na yung level of anxiety nyo. Yung mga tao noong unang panahon, anxious sila. Bakit? Wala silang makain kasi may gera. Eh kayo, ba't kayo anxious? Wala pang nagla-like ng pinost nyo. Oh. So iba-iba, nag-iiba yung nature ng construct as time goes by. Another example sa intelligence. Oh. Sabi ni Cattell, ilang intelligence? 2, fluid, crystallized. Maya-maya, as time went by, pinanganak ang mamang nagngangalang Robert Sternberg. Sabi ni Sternberg, ilan ang intelligence? 3. Practical, analytical, ano yung isa? Practical, analytical, ano yung isa? Ha? Creative intelligence. Oh. Maya-maya, si Gardner pinanganak. Ano ilan daw ang intelligence? 8. Pero alam niyo ba, yung post-Gardner era, yung mga estudyante niya, anong sabi? May bago na, hindi na 8, 9 na. Ano yung bago sa multiple intelligence theory? Yung existential intelligence. Kasi nag-iiba yung nature ng construct as time goes by. So anong implication yun? Kapag yung construct natin nag-iiba, implication nun, when it comes to items, we need to change some items. We need to delete some items. We need to develop new items. Bakit? Nag-iiba nga kasi yung construct yung nature ng construct. Kaya nga, sa Stanford Binet, ilan na? Ilan ang version ng Stanford Binet? 5 na. Ibig sabihin, kung may Stanford Binet 5, nagkaroon ng 4, nagkaroon ng 3, 2, 1. Anong nagbabago sa bawat version? May mga items sa dinadagdag, may mga items sa tinatanggal. The same thing with waste. O, ano na ang bago ng waste? 4 na. Same thing with whisk, di ba? Sa bawat version, may mga bagong items kasi nga nagbabago ang nature ng intelligence. Ito, yung norm. Nasaan ang implication niya sa norm? When it comes to intelligence, yan ang reason kung bakit dapat pinapalitan talaga ang norm after how many years lang? 5 years. Ang shelf life niyan, 5 years, pwede tayong magpalusot until 7 years. Bakit? Sabi ng Flynn effect, as time goes by, people get smarter. Anong epekto kapag ang ginagamit mong norm, 1932? Tapos yung kumukuha ng test ngayon, 2017, ano mangyayari? Lahat ng score na makuha mo, anong interpretation mo? Henyo. Kasi mas matalino tayo ngayon kumpara sa mga tao noong 1932. And you are doing injustice to the raw score. Diba? Kaya kinakailangan talaga ang norm ina-update. At alam niyo ba doon sa code of conduct na in-upload ko, nakalagay din doon, nabasa niyo naman kanina, no? Dapat, yung norm na ginagamit niyo ay tugma doon sa raw score. Kung 2017 mo nakuha yung raw score, dapat yung norm mo, 2017 din. Or 5 years, within 5 years of 2017. Kapag ikaw, 2017 na, ang ginagamit mong norms ay 1932, and I have seen some companies do that. No? Pakagam yung mga norms, tapos yung manual pa nila, yung inaamag na, kasi sobrang luma na, pinatape na lang kasi, ganunin mo yung may mga papel ng lumilipad, naku, you are technically committing a crime against our field. Okay? Kaya in the future, pag may trabaho na kayo, ganun yung practice, ano mo o-offer nyo? Gumawa kayo ng local norm. Okay? Tapos pataas kayo ng sweldo. Malay nyo, kumaga, diba? Boss, gawa ko to ng local norm, pero sweldo ko 50,000 na. Diba? Next. Ba't ba ako galit na naman? Sorry nagagalit ako kung mga ganyan. 75, letter C, dichotomous. Number 76 is letter B, liquor. I agree with this. Number 77 is letter C, cactus. 78 is letter C, cactus. 79 is letter A, apple. Mabibilis na lang yan. 80 is letter... Ano sinagot niyo dito? This is interesting. Deviations from standardized testing procedures. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi mo sinunod yung nasa manual kasi nag-deviate ka. Letter C. Minsan, kinakailangan for particular populations like the blind. Okay? Pag-usapan natin, anong ibig sabihin ng standardized? Pag yung test standardized, it follows strict guidelines. So kapag sinabi mong standardized personality test, ibig sabihin sa manual, merong standard way on how you should administer the test. Okay? O ngayon, bakit ang sagot ay letter C? Minsan, meron kang karapatan na mag-deviate doon sa nakalagay sa manual because of certain reasons. Like what? Halimbawa, bulag yung mga binibigyan mo ng test. Hindi pwede, hindi, bahala silang bilugan yan. Yun ang nakalagay sa manual sabi, ibigay ko lang yung papel, tapos mayaan na sila. Hindi po, bulag nga So in those cases, pwede tayong mag-adapt para makasagot sila. O kung bulag, anong gagawin? O di ba basahin mo sa kanila, imbis na bibilugan nila yung liquor, ikaw magbibilog for them after you read each items. In testing, that's allowed. No? That we deviate from the manual to cater the needs of people with special needs. Okay? Pwede yun. Next, 81 is letter C. Cactus. 82 is letter A, halo effect. 83 is letter C, structured. Ano ko na kanina yan? Systematic fashion. Ibig sabihin, gano'n na gano'n yung mga tanong na binibigay niya. 84 is letter A. Number 85 is letter D, dog. 86 is letter A, T-A-T. Kinakailangan mo talagang interviewin yan. Kapag magti-PAT ka, stands for? MMPI stands for? 16PF stands for? WAY stands for? Yung pangbata ng WAY, ski diversion. Webster Intelligence Scale for Children. Okay, dapat alam yan 87 is letter B, balloon. 88 is letter A. Basahin niyo na lang kung ano yung social facilitation. Usually in social site books, meron yan. 89 is letter B, close-ended. Next, 90 is letter A. Pero ito, may mga tanong ako dito personally. Which of the following types of statements should be avoided in most interview questions? Di ba, bakit? Sa tingin ko, minsan kailangan mo mag-probe. Right? Kasi nag-clean side din ako, di ba? Kailan ka nagpo-probe? Usually kapag general yung sagot niya, you want to dig deeper. You want to get more data, you probe. Diba? Madalas masama ka naginip ko Would you stop there? Puprobe ka, di ba? Ano sabihin mo? Like what? Ano yung mga napapaniginipan mong masama? Let's probe it. Bakit? Nakalagay Avoid. Clarification ba pwede? Hindi. Ang clarification, hindi mo i-avoid yan. Dapat yan. In clean side, kailan ka nagka-clarify usually? Nagka-clarify ka kapag meron kang na-spot na inconsistency sa interview. Sabi niya kanina, alam mo sir, ayoko talaga yung buko juice Tapos maya-maya sabi niya, alam mo sir, paborito ko talaga yung buko juice. So naguluhan ka, ika-clarify. Sabi mo kanina, ayaw mo ng buko juice, kaya paborito mo ang buko juice. How so? Tapos i-explain niya. Diba? Importante rin yung clarification Summarizing, importante rin yan. Kailan ka nagsa-summarize? Usually, kapag halimbawa madaldal siya, dami niyang sinabi, you just get the gist of what the person said. Diba? Parang pinaka-pwede pa nga yung verbatim playback What do you think? Sino nag-letter D dito? Diba? Kasi bakit avoid? Minsan nakakapikon to. Verbatim playback means you repeat exactly what the client said. Alam mo sir, lagi ako nananaginip ng masama eh. Lagi kang nananaginip ng masama. Oo sir, talaga sa panaginip ko pinapatay ako eh. Sa panaginip mo, lagi kang pinapatay. Di ba? Nakakasira ng rapport for me. Kung ako sa Johnny, sagot ko letter T. Pero ang lumag mo sa answer kay letter A. So kayo na lang bahala mag-research bakit letter D. I would stick with letter D. At lang, itong 91, tinan nyo. Don't worry, everything will be alright. Is an example of letter D. Actually, ang lumabas sa answer T is letter T. A response to be avoided. Bakit? Ano masama doon? Ay, yung mga sinong may alam? Dali, baka matulungan tayo. Bakit masama yung sabihin mo, don't worry, everything will be alright? Parang di ba, Christian, na pag-usapan natin ito, you are giving the person false hope, gano'n ba yun? Saan sabihin? Hindi ko rin alam. Kasi di ako mali-excite eh. 92. Why is the question why to be avoided in interviews? Ang tamang sagot daw ay letter B, balloon. It demands that interviewees explain their behavior. Ito pwede, letter B. Kasi di ba, if you ask the question why, it's like you are questioning the validity of what the person said. Bakit? 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 Diba? Ganun yung labas eh. Diba? Pwedeng tell me more about it. Hindi what? Tell me more about it. Hindi. Why? Diba? Parang pinagdududahan mo pa siya. Magiging defensive yan. Kaya masarap din mag-aral lang kilinsay yan. Next. 93 is letter B. Balloon. Interviewer agreement. For interview data, the critical questions about reliability have centered around ano ba yung interview agreement? Let's review. Everybody, focus. May kinalaman to sa inter-rater reliability, di ba? Halimbawa, nag-interview ka. Paano mo malalaman na yung interpretation mo doon sa kliyente mo based on what he or she said? Tama. Paano? Mag-i-inter-rater ka. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng inter-rater? Hanap ka pa ng isang psychometrician na i-interpret din niya yung data na in-interpret mo. Paano mo malalaman kung reliable yung interpretation? Kapag pareho kayong interpretation sa mga sinabi ng kliyente mo. Okay? Sa methods of research, di ba, merong quantitative, ano yung isa? Qualitative. And usually, the method being used in qualitative research is interview. Yung corresponding nito, yung parang counterpart nito sa qualitative research is called triangulation. Are you familiar with triangulation? Halimbawa, nag-qualitative research ka, tapos nag-focus group discussion ka. You're familiar with that, right? Paano mo malalaman na yung mga themes na nabuo mo from your qualitative interview is correct? You do a triangulation. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng triangulation? First, sino yung triangle? Yung researcher. Interpret mo yung data na nakuha mo sa FGD. Sino yung pangalawa? Para malaman mo kung tama yung interpretation mo, anong gagawin mo? Hanap ka ng isa pang researcher. Ibigay mo yung raw data, gawa rin siya ng themes, tignan nyo kung magtutugma kayo. Sino yung pangatlo sa triangle? So, interpret ko, kumuha ako ng isa pang researcher, in-interpret din niya, tama rin. Sino yung pangatlo? Yung mga respondents mismo. Babalikan mo yung mga respondents mo, ipapakita mo yung mga themes na nabuo nyo, tatanungin mo sila, tama ba yung pagkaka-interpret namin sa experience nyo? Okay? That's called triangulation in research. Pero in testing, we call this inter-rater reliability. Okay? So, ginagawa yan in different fields in psychology. Next, number 94 is letter C. 95 is letter B, balloon. 96 is letter C. Kaya basahin niyo yung ethical code na in-upload ko ha. Lahat yun ha. As in the entire document, I expect you to read that before you take the exam. Magandang document yun. As in, that's the official document of APA. 97 is letter A, apple. Tama. Have the right to know who will have access. Saan to? Part ito na informed consent. Ha? 98 is letter B, experiential. Number 99 is letter C. Okay, let's review. Ano ba ang principle behind this? The principle of confidentiality. Nakalagay din ito sa document na in-upload ko. Everybody please read silently. Ano ba ang nakasaad sa principle of confidentiality? Yan po ang nakalagay. Pwede kang mag-resist to protect the confidential information obtained from the client. Pero, anong sabi sa letter B? Exceptions can be made. May exceptions yan, may limits, right? Ano ba yung limits niyan? Yan. Actually, ito yun eh. Dito nang galing yung item. Ano yung limits? Yung pwede mong sirain yung confidentiality. See? Let's talk about the limits. Exceptions. Una, pwede mong sirain yung confidentiality kapag merong buhay na nanganganib. Gets? Usually, lumalabas to sa mga counseling. Nabawa sabi, alam mo sir, sabi ko lang sasabihin to, yung mayroon akong plano talagang patayin yan si Sir Howard eh. Talagang, well, naiinis ako sa pagmumukha niya eh. Ang yabang-yabang eh. Yung lagi naka-brush up, naiinis ako talaga dyan. Papatayin ko yan. O, ngayon, kapag ikaw yung counselor at narinig mo yon, pwede mo bang sabihin sa akin na nanganganib buhay ko? Yes or no? Pwede. Kasi nasa danger na yung buhay ko. Kapag hindi mo sinabi yan at tinuluyan nga niya ako, ha? Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pwede ka pang maging accessory to the crime. Wala ka pang ginawa, alam mo na nga. Pwede. Okay? Another exception ng confidentiality is the client's life is in danger. Siya mismo. Halimbawa, alam mo siya, sa'yo walang sasabihin ito huling pag-uusap na natin to. Mamaya iinom ako ng Baygon. Tsaka Rocky Win. May Rocky Win pa ba? Dora. May Dora pa ba? Basta sir, paghahalu-haluin ko sa isang bowl yung Baygon, Rocky Win, tsaka yung Dora. Yung Dora yung pamatay sa daga. Tapos iinumin ko. Kasi wala na, ayoko na talaga. I can face the anxiety of taking the board exam. Ano? Pwede mo bang sabihin sa mga magulang niya yung plano niya? Yes! Hindi yung, sige, secret lang natin ito. Kasi magka-confidentiality ka, no. Someone's life is already in danger, pwede mong sirain yan. Or, court order. Ibig sabihin, merong ongoing investigation, pinapatunayan ng depensa na yung nasasakdal ay may sayad sa ulo at may data ka na totoo nga yun, nire-request ng court na i-release mo yung data, wala ka nang magagawa dyan. Nakalagay din yan sa document. In the absence of a client or patient release, psychologists and psychometricians provide test data only as required by the law or court order. Pag may court order ka na to release, you have no choice but to release. Okay? Next, 100. Letter B, balloon, informed consent. Number 101, norms, A. 102A. Dapat alam nyo to, ha? Ito pala, sige, mabilis lang. So, 102. Let's say you are creating a norm. Ano yung unang requirement sa norm? Dapat representative. Everybody say the word representative. Go. Aside from the norm must be representative, ano ba yung isang requirement for you to say that this is a good norm? Ano ba yung isa? Dapat, kapag plinat mo sa normal curve, yung mga numbers na nakuha mo sa norm, ano ang shape? It must be normal. Dapat, as in, normal curve siya. Paano mo malalaman, sir? Paano mo malalaman? Kaya ng SPSS yan. May kiniklik doon na ang tawag ay test of normality. Okay? So, i-input mo lang yung data mo na nabubuko sa norm mo, tapos tignan mo kung yung shape niya sa normal curve ay norm through the test of normality. Kapag hindi normal ang shape, anong ibig sabihin? Hindi mo pa siya pwedeng gawing norm. Kinakailangan you collect more data, linisin mo yung data mo hanggang sa pag nag-test of normality ka, maging normal curve siya. That's another indicator that you have a good norm. Hindi pwedeng negatively skewed or positively skewed yung norm mo, tapos itutuloy mo pa rin. No. Okay? So dapat, it's your responsibility to make sure na yung norm ay normal. Next. Ano na? 103. A, apple. Hindi dapat homogeneous, dapat heterogeneous. Different people must be considered. 104 is letter B, balloon. 105 is letter C. 106 is letter, ano to? Errors of measurement or, ito kasi medyo vague to eh. Ang lumabas sa answer DC, positive or negative. But you can interpret kasi positive or negative in two ways, right? Ano ibig sabihin ng positive or negative? Pwede mo sabihin na yung value, pwedeng positive or negative. Or pwede mo rin sabihin na positive and negative is the same as good and bad. Diba? Ako, kung titignan ko tong item na to, ang magiging interpretation ko dito is it good or bad? So I would be answering letter B. Who answered letter B? Oh, appear, diba? Sino nag-C? Positive or negative? Oo. So yun, medyo problematic yung item. Kasi ako letter B, negative. Kasi nga, ang error, nakakasira ng assessment yan. It makes your assessment inaccurate. Anyway, regardless, why are errors of measurement negative? Sabihin na lang natin gano'n ang interpretation natin, no? That errors of measurement are negative. Ibig sabihin, bad for the test. Why? Because errors make you hard to determine the exact true score. Ano pa? Because of errors, it can lead you to have wrong assessment. Yan yung nagiging dahilan bakit yung assessment mo babagsak sa false positive or false negative. Okay? Sige, next. Number 107, the correct answer is letter D, dog. Number 108, the correct answer is letter A, trade. 109, letter D, dog. Oh, tama to. Item selection, test administration, test scoring, pwedeng pagmulan lahat yan ng errors. 110 is letter A, apple. .111, letter D, dog. Madadali na lang to, ha? Lahat yan, pwedeng maging source ng ng error. 112 is letter A, apple. Bakit? Bakit projective? Kasi nga, subjective yung approach natin kapag projective test. Pwede iba-iba yung interpretation nila sa iisang result coming from the client. No? 113 is letter B, systematic. Number 114 is letter D, standard error of measurement. Kaya iba-iba ang standard deviation, kaya iba-iba yung spread of scores in different population. Kasi, lagi nga may error. Imagine nyo kung walang error, anong implication ng standard deviation? Walang magde-deviate. Diba? Walang magde-deviate kasi walang error eh. Next, number 115 is letter C, contextual. 116 is letter B. Kaya mas mabigat talaga ang validity than reliability, although both are important. Hindi porket reliable yung test, valid. Okay? Ibang magkaiba yun. Next, 100. Yung number 116, letter B, balloon. Ha? Reliability is necessary, but not sufficient for validity. Titignan ko pa kung valid. Hindi porket reliable, valid na. 117 is letter A. Criterion contamination. Diniscuss ko na rin yan, the previous meeting, right? Anong ibig sabihin ng criterion contamination? Meron kang binibigay ng mga scores na wala namang kinalaman sa performance. Diba? Yung true score niya, yung talagang performance niya, 50. Type mo yung nagpe-perform, ginawa mong 85. So yung 35 doon, hindi base sa performance niya, base yon sa pagka-type mo sa kanya. That's criterion contamination. No? Next, 100, 18 is letter C, concurrent validity. 119 is letter A. Ang alin? 116 is B. 117 is A. 118 is C. Predictive validity is relevant for entrance. Oh, anong problema? 118. Ha? Ano sinabi ko kanina? Sabi ko ba? 118. Hindi, nakalagay dito, letter C, predictive. Actually, sinabi ko ba kanina? Hala? Kung ano-ano sinasabi ko, ha? Letter C, predictive. And I agree. Di ba, pag entrance exam, saan tayo nagpe-predictive validity? Iko-correlate mo yung entrance exam scores sa kanilang grades in the future. Eh sa employment, ano yung criterion mo doon? Kunin mo yung raw score nila sa test during recruitment, saan mo iko-correlate? Sa performance nila in the future. Di ba? 119 is letter A. Iditiin ko na ha, parang A. 120 is B. B. Balloon. 120B, false negative. Persons who are, parang hindi nga eh. Persons who predicted to succeed. Alam mo, okay ka. Oo, tama. Teka lang, huwag niyo kaawayin. Kasi ang nakalagay sa answer key, letter B. Oh, pero yun nga, given that, letter A yan. Sinabi mo, alam mo, okay ka. Pero bumagsak. Diba? Next. 121, balloon. Remember, may dalawang version ng discriminant ha, don't forget. Ano yung dalawang version ng discriminant? First one, you correlate a construct opposite of the construct. Pwede rin, the construct is not at all related to the second construct. Pareho namang discriminant yun. Next, isa na. 122 is letter A, content validity. Tama yan. Tinitignan nila yung items, kung pasok ba, kung swak ba sa concept of definition ng construct. 123 is letter B, balloon. 124 is letter D, dog. Actually, itong 124, may ano to ha, content validity, mukhang hindi to fit sa assessment. 124 is ano eh, sa X-site to eh, experimental psych. Diba? Saan natin pinoproblema ang operational definition? Sa dependent variable, no? Papaano mo i-measure yung dependent variable sa isang experiment? Ewan ko, ba't napunta yan dyan? Next, number 125 is letter A, componential. Ang dami lumalabas na theory ni Sternberg So basahin mo si Sternberg kasi leading proponent siya sa intelligence, no? So basahin niyo yung background ni Sternberg at ni Wexler. 126, ito, this one. From 126 to 130, tingnan nyo, ano ang common characteristic nito? 126 to 130 are asking you about the subtest of Wexler. So, ang implication nito, another tip for your study, make sure before you take the exam, familiar kayo sa mga different subtests at least of the major test. Hindi naman lahat, but the most common ones, the Wexler, WISC, Stanford Binet. Are you familiar? Halimbawa, magbigay ako ngayon ng subtest. Alam nyo ba kung yung subtest na yon ay sa WISC o sa SB? Dapat alam nyo, ganong level dapat pag sinabi ko, picture completion. Digit symbol. O, diba? Dapat alam nyo, iba-iba yan eh. Okay. For our purposes, etong 126 to 130 kasi, WISC ito eh. Okay? Gumawa ako ng slide, you just take a photo, kung yung mga different subtests, their definition, and their sample items. Okay? Pero magtatrabaho din kayo after this, kayo umalam sa WISC at sa Stanford Binet. Okay, ready? Comprehension. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng comprehension. And by the way, hindi lang sapat na alam mo na, in this test, minimeasure ang comprehension. Ibig sabihin, dapat alam mo rin yung meaning ng comprehension. So you need to master this. You need to master this. Hindi yung basta alam mo ng comprehension. So what does it measure? Sample item, yan o. Diba individual test to? Diba ginawa ko to sa lecture ko? Why do we turn out the lights when we leave a room? Sagot! To become dark. To save electricity. Yan, I think 2 points yun. Ano pa? To avoid fire. Yan. Ano pa? To save money. Yan, pwede rin. Diba? Next. Similarity. Alam niyo ba yung similarity? Ibig sabihin niya, sa Wexler, yan yun. Kasi sa manual ko kinopya yan, word for word. That's why this is accurate. O, paano yan? I think dinemo ko rin to eh, di ba? O, one-on-one to. Anong itatanong ko sa client ko? How are whales and lions similar? Sagot! Both are animals. Nah. Both are mammals. Wow! Ano ba? Both have vowels. Wala, zero yan. How are amber and delight similar? How are boys and girls similar? Oh, di ba? Similarities yan. Webster yan, ha? How about vocabulary? Yan ang vocabulary. Okay? So some examples, sample items. Ito may halong whisk ito eh. Children are shown pictures or a word. The word is said aloud. So, bawa, what is this? Everybody, what is this? Yun. That's one way. They are asked to provide the name of the object or to define the word. Okay? Or, what does simple mean? Ikaw mismo magde-define. What do you mean by the word simple? Di-define mo. Vocabulary yun. That's how Webster will test your vocabulary. How about information? Oh. Subtest yan, ha? So, Webster, yan ang information. Ito yung parang quiz bee. Diba? Ano yung mga sample items ng information? Kasi tatanungin ka ng mga ganyan. Who was Queen Elizabeth I? Oh. Ito yung sinasabi ko na minsan may mga items sa test na hindi culture fair. Imagine mo, taga Leyte, yung lumaki, yung kliyente. Tanungin mo sino si Queen Elizabeth. Hindi naman lahat tinuturo yan sa world history eh. Diba? Ewan ko, kilala ko si Bonifacio. Yan, kilala ko yan. Diba? Sino si Queen Elizabeth? Ito naman siguro, ito I think culture fair to. What do your lungs do? May kultura bang walang lungs? Wala naman, diba? So, okay yung item na yan. What is photosynthesis? Pwede rin naman. Diba? Pero again, may mga items na hindi culture fair. Another example of that would be geography. Hindi ko lang sinama dyan. Diba? If Chicago is in the west of Virginia, ewan ko, taga-Carriedo ako eh. Yung may items like that are really problematic. It needs to be, ano sabi ko? Changed or modified for our purposes. Okay? Digit span. Sa Webster din yan, paano ang digit span? Yan. Anong tinetest ng digit span? Working memory. Diba? Paano yung digit span? Yung pahaba ng pahaba, yung tapos i-repeat nyo. Repeat after me, ha? 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 6. 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 6, 5, 6. 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 6, 5, 6, 9, 8, 9. 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 6, 5, 6, 8, 9, 1, 7, 1. Yun ang digit span. Okay? Ang assumption doon, mas mahaba yung nauulit mo, mas malakas yung working memory mo. Alright? So, yan yun. Ito mahirap oh. Hindi lang laging ganun ha. Tingnan nyo to. For digit span backward, listen. The tester would read the numbers like 24, 3, 7, 12. Tapos dapat yung response mo, pabaliktad. Hirap nun ha. Unless you have photographic memory. Kaya ito pwede ka rin makaspot ng taong may photographic memory. Di ba? Ang hirap yan, no? 24, 3, 7, 12. Tapos babaliktarin mo. Hirap yun. Di ba? Anyway, picture concepts. Paano yung picture concepts? Ganyan. So, parang similarity din, pero you're using pictures. So, halimbawa, pick one picture from each row that go together. Actually, dapat iba pa dito yan. May 1, 2, 3, 4 pa yan. Anyway. Pero ito, i-pick mo yung 2, and then i-pick mo yung 1. Bakit? Why do they go together? Pareho, ginagamit ng mata. Diba? Ayan. Okay? So, gano'n na, ang implication nito sa review nyo, alamin nyo yung bawat subtest and sample items of the subtest. Okay? Iba pa yung subtest ng Stanford din eh. Next, 131. Ay, hindi ko pala sinabi yung tamang sagot, no? 126 letter, ano yun? Given what you saw. Letter D, dog. At 127, ano? Letter B, balloon. Digit span. Tama. Kasi working memory to eh. Next, 128 is letter B, digits backward. Yung ginawa natin kanina. 129 is letter C. Talaga? So, well, ways 3 to eh, ha? Nag-i-interpret ka ng proverbs. Meron palang ganun, no? Sa ways 4 ba, may proverbs pa rin? Meron pa rin ba yung mga na-expose dito sa ways 4? Anyway, 130 is letter D, similarities. Yep. Okay? 131 is, alam niyo ba yung cage? Letter D, dog. Ano yung cage? I researched about this, honestly. Ito rin yung unang beses ko rin na-encounter ang cage. Alam niyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng cage? Ito. Cut down, annoy, guilty, and eye-opener. At ano to? This is actually a standardized test that is used for drug rehabilitation efforts. Structured interview siya na ibibigay mo sa isang taong may planong magparehab para malaman mo yung extent ng problema niya. Actually, I have a copy here of cage. Look at this. Ano ba yung mga tinatanong sa cage? Have you ever felt you should cut down on your drinking? Actually, both drug abuse and substance abuse or alcoholic abuse. Have people annoyed you by criticizing your drinking? Have you ever felt bad or guilty about your drinking? So on and so forth. Okay? Yan yung pag-alcohol. Pag-drugs, yan yung mga itatanong. How have you ever felt you ought to cut down on your drinking or drug use? Have people annoyed you by criticizing your drinking or drug abuse? So on and so forth. Tapos, meron niyang raw score yan, no? May scoring siya. Bibilangin mo lang yung yes or no niya, and then that will determine kung yung tao ba ay addict niya o hindi. Kung kinakailangan talaga niya magparehab o hindi. Alright? Next. Number 132 is letter D. All of the above. I agree. 133 is letter A, apple. Kasi nga, meron laging error. Kaya hindi lumalabas yung kanyang true score. 134 is letter D, dog. Bilis lang yan. 135 is letter B. Test fairness. 136, letter C. Tama? Number 137 is letter B, balloon. Number 138 is letter C, content validity. Ito, Professor X has been known to administer exams that have exam questions on topics not covered. Nako. Ibig sabihin, yung mga diniscuss niya sa classroom, nung nagbigay siya ng test, hindi lumalabas. Sino naka-experience yan? Sino? Diba? Yung ang daming items, hindi naman yan diniscuss. Tapos kung nagreklamo ka, anong sagot niya? Dapat kasi binasa niyo. Diba? Although I agree, minsan naman talaga dapat kasi nagbabasa rin kayo. Ha? Next. Hindi, pero listen na, about content validity, listen, pwede rin ito mangyari sa board exam. Diba? Halimbawa, paano magkakaroon ng problema sa content validity sa board exam? Ibig sabihin, yung mga diniscuss natin dito, hindi lumabas sa exam. In that case, sino may kasalanan? Dalawa lang yan. Pwedeng kasalanan ng Spark or kasalanan ng PRC. Pero we are confident na kapag yan ay nangyari, hindi namin kasalanan. Bakit? Kasi meron kaming TOS. At yung TOS namin, sila naglabas. At yung mga pinagsabi namin dito, nakapattern after the TOS. So kapag yung topic wala sa TOS, hindi na namin i-discuss. So kapag nagkaroon ng content validity sa exam, okay, nagka-problema sa content validity, maraming items ang hindi naman natin na-discuss, we are sure na sila may problema at hindi kami. Diba? Pero ang malungkot na balita, sa proseso ng testing, sa PRC, walang pwedeng mag-contest. Alam niyo ba yun? Bagsak ka. Hindi, pipiling ko pasado ko eh. Ulitin nyo, hindi pwede. Pag bagsak, bagsak. Anyway, pero hindi kayo babagsak. Ba't kayo lulungkot? Hindi kayo babagsak. Ay, nako. Ayan naman yung mga negativities nyo. Nasaan na ako? 139 is letter B, balloon. Sa gitna. Oo. Kasi kaya nga nakalobo yung curve. Nandun yung bulto ng scores. 140 is letter D. Again, let's clarify. Ano ang highest correlation? Perfect correlation is 1. Positive or negative. Diba? Ano ang lowest? 0. Ibig sabihin, no correlation. Okay? So yung 1 na yun, pwedeng positive, pwedeng negative, regardless. Ha? Perfect correlation yun. Next, 141 is letter C. Number 142 is letter B, balloon. 143 is, ano to? Analytical intelligence is letter A. Abstract reasoning skills. Ito yung mga non-verbal usually, yung mga linya, yung mga circles, di ba? Hahanapin mo yung pattern. That's abstract reasoning. It will test how good you are in analyzing patterns. Kaya pag mataas ka dyan, bagay ka bagay ka sa NBI or FBI. No? I think agents are very high in this kind of intelligence. Si Sherlock Holmes, mataas dyan. 144 is letter D. Dog. 145 is letter C. That's right. Number 146 is letter B. Balloon. Alam niyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng critical incidents? It is a method of performance evaluation. Diba? Sa I.O., pinag-usapan natin yung recruitment. Sa recruitment, ano yung mga methods? Pwede multiple hurdles, pwede multiple cut-off. Ito naman, sa I.O. rin itong critical incidents na ito, ang ginagawa dito, this is a method of performance evaluation that is qualitative. Are you listening? Sinong gumagawa ng critical incidents technique? Yung mga managers. Okay? Yung mga bossing, sila ang gumagawa ng critical incidents technique. Kasi, ang isang approach sa pag-evaluate ng performance ng empleyado, paano? Questionnaires. Diba? Pero pwede rin ang evaluation mo qualitative. Wherein, ito yung critical incidents technique. Just take a photo. You identify, according to Flanagan to, no? Yung source dito sa Flanagan, identifies behaviors that indicate success or failure on the job qualitatively. Hindi ka nag-a-assign ng numbers. Anong ginagawa mo bilang manager, bilang supervisor? You are not scoring the person, but you are commenting about the person's performance. One good example of a critical incidents technique is if you watch American Idol or Pinoy Got Talent or, hindi paborito ko yung Hell's Kitchen, Master Chef, di ba? Sa bawat pagluto nila, si Gordon Ramsay pa nagbibigay ng score? Hindi eh. Lait ang binibigay niya. Di ba? Yung titikman niya, idudura niya pag di masarap. Critical incidents yan kasi yung comment niya about the performance is qualitative. Even Simon Cowell, di ba? Kapag nagko-comment siya, hindi naman siya nagbibigay, you got a 5. Hindi naman ganun eh. Di ba? Manlalait siya, titignan niya kung ano yung mga mali, ano yung mga tama. That's critical incidents technique. Okay? Next. Nasaan na? 147 is letter B. Balloon. 148 is letter D. Dog. 149 is letter C. 150 is letter... sorry, may naskipan ako. Going back to 148, everybody, 148 muna. Which of the following is an advantage of alternative test? Letter D. Ano ibig sabihin ng alternative test? Ito, pag-usapan natin. Alternative tests are tests whose format caters the need of disabled test takers. Para ito sa mga taong may disability. So, merong grupo ng mga test. Anong tawag? Everybody read. Anong tawag? Alternative test. Ano ang common sa mga test under alternative test? Itong mga test na ito, it caters to the needs of people who are disabled. Like what? Ano ba yung mga kakaibang procedure ng mga test na alternative test that will cater to the needs of people who have special needs. Halimbawa, yung mga test na ito, most of the time, mas matagal yung kanilang time limit. Because there are certain disorders or conditions wherein iba talaga yung takbo ng cognition nila, mas matagal sila mag-isip. So in the manual, mas matagal yung kanilang time limit. What else? Yung iba gumagamit ng computer, imbis na paper and pencil test. Why? Merong iba, hirap na magsulat. Diba? So, imbis na magsulat, titindot na lang sila. What else? Less distracting environment, especially who? Especially those with ADHD. Hindi sila pwedeng bigyan ng test na parang ganito, no? Tapos madi-distract sila. Usually, they are placed in a special environment wherein there's no distraction. Ano pa? Oral processing. Kung yung iba, dapat paper and pencil, okay na sila dyan kasi nakakabasa sila. Yung iba, kinakailangan mo, idikta. Bakit mo dinidikta? Bulag kasi. Or may MR. Hindi sila makaintindi ng maayos ng mga salita like normal people would. And of course, alternative text. Diba? Sa mga bulag, kung ayaw mo i-dictate, may mga test, they use braille in taking the test. Okay? So yun yung tawag na alternative tests. So, 149 is letter C, state, and 150 is letter A. Anong ibig sabihin ng maleficence? Trivia. Anong ibig sabihin ng maleficence? Hanapin niyo sa dictionary, ang ibig sabihin niyan is harm. Act of doing harm or destruction. So, basic principle in being an RPM, listen, we should avoid any harm that we may cause our client. Question, paano mo maiiwasan yung harm and destruction to your client? Kaya principle of non-maleficence. Don't harm. Paano mo hindi sasaktan yung kliyente mo by being competent to handle the test? Nakalagay yan dyan. Basahin nyo on your own, silently. Nakalagay yan sa document na in-upload ko. Okay? Kapag hindi ka kasi competent in handling a test, you don't have enough training, and yet, nag-assess ka pa, you may cause certain harm sa iyong client, and that's what we are trying to avoid. Kaya nga tayo nagkakaroon ng license, you know, para yung basic skills meron kayo in administering these kinds of tests. Okay? Anong next si mamaya? Oh, si Sir Chof. Pumasok kayo ha. Magalit si Sir Chof pag inuwian niyo siya ha. Okay, so kung wala nang mga tanong, kailan ang next meeting natin? So, for my announcement, wala naman. Ang next meeting natin, ano na? Ano to? Ang tawag doon? Yung Topher, ang tawag doon? Grand lecture, tama ba? Ay, hindi. Yung success coaching pa, tama? May coaching pa. Oh, may coaching pa. Pero ano na lang yun? It's a lighter version of the first one. Parang, oh, listen, some preview. No? Ang mangyayari lang